I'm just going through the list. There are so many today.
Oh, there are. There are lots.
Lloyd Cole.
Oh, I didn't know about that one.
I just saw that. Lloyd
Do we
Cole
still
and the
have any of
Commotions.
that? Let me look to see if we have.
Oh, that rattlesnake. Oh.
I don't know if we have any Lloyd Cole in the system.
I don't. Probably not.
Oh, we got a CD of it somewhere in the building.
What is
a
a CD?
I know, right?
It's Jumpin' Tamberman's birthday.
Oh.
It's a Mumford's birthday. Well, that's okay.
No, we're passing on that.
Yeah.
That'll happen today on its own.
Yeah.
It's Fat Mike's birthday, of course.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
No FX.
That's
what we did.
Yeah.
That was that.
Oh, that's that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We could have done. It's Johnny Rotten's birthday.
Well, that
today.
may come up later.
Come up later.
Okay, good. It is Phil Manzanera's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Roxy Music. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see if you get this one. It's Harry Wayne Casey's birthday.
I know this.
You do? Do you really? That's
Well,
good. That's very good.
I don't know it because I know it. I know it because I saw
You
it.
saw it.
Mm.
That's KC.
And the Sunshine Band.
It was discussed.
Keep it coming.
It was discussed.
Last weekend.
Very good.
I never would have got that. But then I would have gone, Lloyd.
Yeah, and the other things.
Here's a better one.
Hey, I was walking my bike to a 20-story non-stop snowstorm. Pirelli counter girls wrestling in body lotion. My head swimming.
Mm-hmm.
That's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My ever-changing moods is not Lloyd Cole.
This is not.
That's style council.
It's labeled as
Nope.
Rattlesnakes,
Nope.
Lloyd Cole and the
That
Commotions.
is my
Style
ever-changing mood.
That is so funny.
That's weird. I might just do some Lloyd Cole later on today.
I think you should.
Break some out.
Yeah, and then we could have opened with some Schubert because it's Franz Schubert's birthday today.
Oh, well.
But yeah, the No FX.
Fat Mike from
On
No
this
FX.
day.
I didn't know that. I don't know that song that you played. Though.
Yeah, it's a deeper cut.
What is it called?
It's called "Please Play This Song on the Radio."
Well,
because that was the chorus. Yeah.
Well, there you
Over
go.
and over.
So hey.
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 Sup?
Hey. So I've gone down this rat hole, this TV rat hole.
Which TV rat hole?
Castle Rock on Hulu.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising because there's so many. I mean, that's one you set aside for a while,
I
right?
did set it aside, and then the Stephen King
Well,
thing.
is it into season 2 yet? Because I thought because I know it's been renewed for season 2.
Well, I don't think so. I don't know for sure. I watched the first episode of season 1 some time ago and went, I don't know. I have too many other things to watch.
I'm watching the Bundy tapes.
So is everyone else. You're watching it on Netflix?
On Netflix, you mean?
Everyone is watching that.
Yeah,
It's just-
and I think it made it a boner candidate, as a matter of fact. People are bothering the house here in Salt Lake.
Really?
They're bothering people
Yeah.
who live in the house that Ted Bundy rented, the rooming house.
It's Festus and I decided we're going to talk about it on our podcast this
What
week.
podcast is
That's
that?
a Remain
Our
Seated
podcast.
podcast. Yeah, it's our.
That's the first time you've said that.
It's our podcast.
It's always been my podcast. My podcast. I do a podcast.
Well, when it started, it was me with Festus helping, but
Now
it's
it's really
evolved into
He doing most of the work.
Yeah.
Him doing most of the work.
Remain Seated. It's
It should be called Mom. Why don't you just sit there? It should be
no,
the Mom.
it's the Remain Seated podcast.
Mom, remain seated.
But
It should be Festus featuring Gina Barberi.
we're talking Ted Bundy this week.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
Yeah, no, I didn't make it a boner candidate.
Last week we talked about, which is the current episode, which you can find now. We talk about we're talking Sundance, and we talk about the infamous Samuel Jackson autograph.
The Samuel Jackson and autograph
Yeah.
incident.
That's it.
You get his true feelings
Yeah.
about how that went down?
Apparently, I ruined him forever with that.
Did, eh?
And if you'd like to hear the details of that, you should go listen to my podcast.
You know, it's because of that incident. It's why he's getting married at such a young age. It's why he's violating the don't get married till you're 30.
It's
rule.
my fault.
Yeah, it is. It is. He says, oh, yeah, I'll show you.
Yeah. Here you go.
I'm going to break all the rules. I'll get tattoos.
Yeah.
when
Well, there was never a rule about tattoos. That's
Come on. There was an unspoken.
no. I knew he would get them eventually.
Wasn't there a you have to
Eventually.
be a certain age?
Oh
rule?
yeah, I said I'm not going to sign off on it.
Eventually, when he came home, he didn't ask your permission. He just went and got it. And he came home with the tattoo, and you went,
There's only one of his tattoos that I don't like. He's got the Green Day pink bunny with the X'd out eyes. I don't like that one.
and she doesn't like it. She hasn't seen it because it's on a part of his body.
No, it's on his upper arm.
Oh.
But because all of his other tattoos don't have color in it. They're these cool, black and white and gray shaded ones, and then he's got one with color on it. I think you should either do all color or all black and white.
Why must you have a rule about everything?
Does it make sense? Does it make sense to have one colored tattoo?
It makes sense to you. It makes sense to
I like order.
you.
I like things a certain way.
It has to be black or white. Things cannot have...
No.
All right, let's get the show officially started. All right. The number to call to check in with the Radio from Hell show is 877-602-9696. You check in. That lets us know that you want us to stick around. It's getting to be contract time. Again.
Now, if people are listening to that hearing, I feel like you guys are always in contract negotiation. We are.
Kind of.
It seems like when we just get done with one, it's time for another one.
And I was thinking about it. It woke me up in the middle of the night, as a matter of fact.
no.
And I was thinking about it. 877-602-9696. I was thinking about contract time, and I was thinking, well, what would you do if you didn't have us to kick around anymore?
Is that
3 words or less. 877-602-9696. Call us, check in with the Radio from Hell show, and tell us, what would you do if you didn't have us to kick around anymore?
All right. Call 877-602-9696. We will begin after these. Gina, please, your car.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of me and Festus,
Yes.
we went out to Volkswagen Southtown, and we traded in the Jetta we've been driving, and we switched over to a Tiguan, which is their smaller SUV, but I hesitate to call it a smaller SUV because it's got a third row. You can fit 7 people in this.
That's pretty roomy.
But when you stand outside of it, it doesn't look like it's that big. It's,
But yet still, Festus can put his guitars and amps in the back.
yeah,
right?
because you
It's
lay it.
kind of like Doctor Who's telephone.
Yeah, exactly. You can lay down the seats in the back so he can fit all of his equipment in there. And it's a beautiful, beautiful car. We went to Volkswagen Southtown. It's just off 106 South on I-15. It's west of the freeway. You say Southtown Volkswagen and you think it might be on the east side of the freeway. No, it's on the west side of the freeway. And we worked with Carly. They actually have quite a few female salespeople at Volkswagen Southtown. Carly was super nice and super knowledgeable, walking us through the Tiguan, showing us all of the features it has. You can go test drive one out. Go see Carly out there and ask to test drive one. I bet you'll like it. Volkswagen Southtown.
X96 is a proud partner of Sundance Institute. Don't miss the 2019 Sundance Film Festival.
All right, now what?
This is Utah word of the day. That's
From what year? Do you have any idea?
94, I want to say.
94.
1994.
Let's see. Here we go.
Today, we examine another group of words used by most Utahns called L words, or words that end in ELL.
Oh, yeah.
And to help you with today's lesson, each time an L word is used in the following dialogue, a bell will sound. Imagine, if you will, our two friends, LeVar and LeGrand, together in LeVar's trailer house. The TV is on. A conversation ensues. Again, these are L words.
I love this TV show.
Yeah.
I am so glad that someone is showing the reruns of McKell's Navy.
Me too. You know, I would just love to set sail with McKell myself. Hey, you remember the one when the wacky crew of PT Boat 73 tried to save that beached well?
Oh, yeah. They had a hard time because of this big storm.
Yeah.
Gale force winds and hell stones the size of golf balls.
Yeah.
But they saved that well anyway. McKell did not fell.
Well, no thanks to Gruber. Yeah, that was quite a tell, though. Hey, listen, give me some of them snacks, would you? I'm hungry.
Sure.
Uh-oh.
What?
Trell mix.
Yeah.
You're not gonna like this, LeGrand, but Trell mix makes me thirsty for just one thing.
You're not gonna be drinking beer in front of me, are you, LeVar?
Oh, no. I'm gonna have me a glass of L.
L is beer.
Yeah, but this is pretty mild. It's that Pell L from Squatters. It's so mild I can drink a whole bucket of it.
You'd get drunk if you drunk a whole Pell of Pell L. Then you'd get throwed in jail. And I'd have to bail you out. Oh, hey, looky here what I got in the mail. It's a flyer from Deseret Book. It says here that Dan Quell is coming to town to sign copies of his new book.
Boy, the liberals sure rode Bush and Quell out of Washington on a rel.
Sure did.
They fought tooth and nail, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Hey, I hear that this new book of his really lifts the veil of secrecy about Washington life and what really went on. You know, I'd like to see him. What Deseret Book is he at?
Well, the one by that big jewelry store.
Big jewelry store. You mean Morgan's Jewelers?
Nope. Zell's.
There you go.
That's back when we had this theory that we would beat you over the head with comedy. You know, the way to get you to laugh was to beat you over the head with comedy.
Why didn't we ever learn to edit?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know. Also, now, you were shouting, this sucks.
Mhm.
I got to tell you, though, out of all of the Utah Word of the Days, that was the best one.
It was one of the,
Really?
Yeah. That was one of the better ones.
In my opinion, I think that was the best one. Whenever someone says, what's the quintessential episode, I say that one.
I still like Lard Dorothy. That's a gorgeous orange.
I like talking to the manager of the store about the manger scene.
Yeah.
The creche, the manger scene. The manger. I need to speak to the manger about the manger scene.
God. Beat you over the head is
Yep.
right. Even I was getting bored. Sorry, folks. Yeah, that's why we don't do sketches anymore, all right? Anyway.
9696. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right. 6:20 right now. Let's begin.
All right. The official beginning of the Radio from Hell show now. Is it brought to you by anyone, Gina?
Contact our sales department for your business here.
801-524-2600. That's the main number. If you call now, no one will answer, but you could leave a message for Mike Lund, the sales manager. I'd like to sponsor the official beginning of the Radio from Hell show. The moon is a waning crescent moon, 16.1% of full. Or is it a whamming? No, it's a waning. Waning crescent moon. The moon will set today at 2:19 p.m., today being Thursday. It's the 31st day of January in the year of our Lord 2019. This is North America's most fertile radio broadcast.
Ooh.
It's the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Kerry Jackson.
Oh, hi.
Hi. Bill Allred. Hello. Gina Barberi.
Hi.
Hello. The executive producer of the Radio from Hell show is Little Dickie Stedman. Dylan Allred, no relation to me. DR Allred, some people call him.
Oh, I didn't know anybody called him that.
Hey, DR.
Nobody calls him that.
Dr. Allred.
Right here, DR. He is producing video for the show that you can see at x96.com/live. And an intern is here. I have not seen him. I do not know who he is, but he's here. And he's helping with the program as well. Is it Chase?
It's not Chase.
It's Jackson.
It's Parker.
Parker.
All right. Let's get to check-ins. 877-602-9696. If you call to check in with the Radio from Hell show, that lets us know that you want us to stick around for a while. And tell us in 3 words or less, if you would please, what would you do if you didn't have us to kick around anymore? Huh?
All right. Let's begin with Davey. Hi, Davey.
Davey, how are you this morning?
Wonderful. Good morning, lords and ladies.
Good morning.
You know, Davey, it's getting to be contract time again, and we're locked in a battle now.
Are we?
We're the mortal battle. Horns have been locked. We're going to try and negotiate a new contract. What would you do if you didn't have us to kick around anymore, Davey?
I would collapse from boredom.
Oh,
Davey, collapse from boredom.
that sounds terrible. I hope we don't go anywhere.
Yeah, me too. Well, but you never
No,
know.
I need to keep the drive interesting.
Well, I don't know, Davey. How long is your commute?
It's about 40 minutes.
Really? Well, I don't know what to tell you. You know, this is every contract time comes up. It becomes. You know, it's like the Constitution. It's hanging by a thread.
They got to give you whatever you want.
Yeah, that's cute. That's cute.
That's funny. Well, wish us luck, Davey.
You ready for the funny part, Davey? We're not even asking for more money.
No, we're not asking for anything.
You ready for that? Okay.
We're not asking for anything.
All right. Thanks, Davey.
87.
You're
All right, thanks,
Bye-bye.
Davey. 877-602-9696. That's the number. Call and check in with the Radio from Hell show and tell us what would you do if you didn't have us to kick around anymore.
Josh from Denver says, without you three, there is no good radio.
Well,
Let's see. Texters are saying boycott Broadway media.
Wow.
well, that's a little. You know, our friend Richie is listening in Kentucky this morning.
How cold is it today,
yeah.
Richie?
He said he's in Frankfurt. He doesn't say how cold it is, but he says it's so cold that they're not letting them leave the building again today and go to class. That he's just stuck in his dormitory.
Stuck in the dorm, eh?
Yeah, so not listening. Or not going to class, listening all morning today.
Sorry, Richie. Let's go to Tyler. Hello, Tyler.
Hey, Tyler.
Hey, good morning, lords and ladies.
Good morning. So what would you do, Tyler?
I would be less hateful of Trump. You definitely fuel my hate from Trump.
Oh, is that it? So would that be a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know.
I completely appreciate that.
Okay.
But haven't we?
The French fry needs to go.
Haven't we taught you well enough to take that hate and make it your own?
Maybe it is my hate, and I just wanted to blame it on you.
That's what it is. You're just trying to blame it on
us,
me.
yeah. All right. Thanks, Tyler.
All right, thank you, guys.
Bye-bye. Sean is here.
Hi, Sean.
Morning, lords and ladies.
Good morning.
I would have to patron your spin-off podcast if they got you off the radio.
Well, Broadway Media owns those as well. So,
Yeah.
So
They would.
I don't know as those would exist any longer either.
Well, your new one, that would obviously develop that.
We'd all come up with a new podcast.
Yeah, we would.
So there'd be a new one, and then
Mine would be still remaining seated.
no, it'd be lying down.
Lying down.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks for checking in.
Yep.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks, Sean. Mo says, no more radio. You're the only thing I listen to on terrestrial radio. Let's see. Wander around aimlessly.
Where am I?
Why? Where? Huh?
Let's see. Tony from Ohio, you should pull out the letter that I wrote many years ago. Could you resend that, Tony?
Yeah, I don't know where it is.
Can't
Tony.
remember that.
No.
Sleep more. That's the best answer.
Yeah.
That's
I've
what we
seen
would do, too.
all day. Actually, no, the best answer that I've gotten all morning is from our board operator, Carlin.
Oh, Carlin.
Oh, how are you, Carlin?
3 words or less. The Carlin, Cynthia, and Festus Show.
Carlin, are you feeling better?
I hope you're
Carlin
feeling
had the
better.
pneumonia.
Yeah.
Hope you're feeling better. Oh, sorry. That was supposed to be the traffic bed
Oh.
and not the next element. Let's get some traffic from Gina, if you don't mind.
Crash southbound I-15 at 115th South in Draper. 2 right lanes are blocked. Crash northbound I-15 13th South in Salt Lake. Right shoulder being affected there. And if you see something you want to share with friends of the program and it's safe for you to text, for God's sake, don't do it while you're driving. That's just stupid. Pull over and text us at 33986.
All right.
Our friend Scott Hale at Scott Hale Plumbing, Heating, and Air has this new thing going. This is pretty cool. So go to the website, scotthale.com. That's HALE, or call 801-264-HALE. Hale has frozen over. Scott Hale Plumbing, Heating, and Air. It's free brewery at Scott Hale. This February, buy a full central air system, okay? And you will get a free furnace. You don't often think of buying a central air system in
the winter.
Yeah, but you'll get a free furnace if you do. Buy a tankless water heater and get a free water softener in free brewery. Call Scott Hale today, 264-HALE, that's H-A-L-E. Scott Hale is amazingly different and surprisingly better. If you need a full sewer replacement, buy yours from Scott Hale Plumbing, Heating, and Air, and you'll get free 40-gallon water heater. Take advantage of the free brewery deals by calling 264-HALE today before Hale freezes over. That's Scott Hale.
When Carrie, Bill, and Gina run out of things to bitch about.
I could talk about this now because my wife's Christmas party is over, the one that she has at work. And one of the deals is they do a white elephant every year, and it's an exchange, and then they do that. I don't know what's it called, where it's like, I'll take that, and you have this.
You do like
a big swap.
Yeah, like
What's
a
it called?
like a barter. I don't know the
Something
technical
swap?
Yeah.
Anyway. And she went on an Etsy site, and she sent for these crocheted coasters.
Cool.
That was the gift she was taking to the party.
And the reason they were funny is they were shaped like cats' butts. So they were round, and there was a
little
butthole in the middle, and then there were little legs and a tail. Okay, so someone had crocheted those.
Okay.
So she sent for 4 of those.
Okay.
Because it was like an Etsy thing, the packaging that they send is not going to be professional.
Right.
So just essentially the person stuffed them in an envelope and put them in the mail.
In fact, the cheaper you can send them, then maybe you can keep a little bit of the postage on your end. Sure.
Exactly. So we get the envelope, and it's in this plastic bag. We care.
We care.
From the Postal Service. Now, I like the Postal Service. I like our post office. I like our postal workers.
I think the U.S. mail is great.
They do a great job.
Yeah.
This envelope was soaked in some kind of chemical that smelled like paint thinner.
Huh.
But I like the fact that above the We Care, someone had taken a label maker and made made the little label that says "leaked on."
So there was an accident.
So there was some sort of accident with a chemical that they were mailing that smelled like turpentine.
And they put it in that plastic bag.
Yeah.
And then
So were the cat butt coasters ruined?
Surprisingly, no. She was able to get them cleaned up, and they had a slight smell of paint thinner or turpentine or whatever.
Well, that just made them better.
Yeah.
But anytime I mail a package, they ask me, "Is this flammable?" Clearly, the liquid that leaked on these cat butt coasters was flammable. Some people get to mail flammable stuff, and some do not.
Or they lie.
Or they lie.
Yeah.
But I just.
Well, that's nice. So the Postal Service rescued the.
Well, they just put it in that bag.
Oh, they put the whole envelope.
Yeah, they put the whole envelope in the bag.
So it wouldn't get on other things.
So it wouldn't get on other things,
Because we care.
Sorry about your cat butt coasters. Gag gift.
Yeah.
But the other, whatever it is not going to get leaked on because we got it taken care of.
What's the fine print underneath all of that?
We sincerely regret the damage to your mail during the handling by the Postal Service. We hope this incident did not inconvenience you.
Okay.
We realize that your mail is important to you and that you have every right to expect it to be delivered in good condition.
It's not a personal message. It doesn't go into. We know these valuable cat butt coasters.
It's sincerely your plant manager, processing and distribution.
Oh, I see.
Gary Jackson, Bill Allred, Gina Barberi, Radio from Hell on X96.
All right, 6:35. We got geek news coming up. Stand by for that. Oh, I better get that together. But right now, Big Boy News and Opinioendo brought to you by.
It's the news you trust from the most experienced team in Utah 2 News. Check out the new KUTV.com.
News.
Well, I don't know what to make of this.
Of what?
Co-founder and ex-guitarist of Kiss, Ace Frehley, has said that Gene Simmons groped his wife.
I'm sure that's
Frehley's
true.
Fury, Frehley's fury came after Simmons told Guitar World that he wasn't sure that Frehley, a founding member of Kiss, and Peter Criss would ever be a part of the band officially ever again. Ace and Peter have gone 3 chances. They were in and out of the band, fired 3 times for drugs, for alcohol, for bad behavior, for being unprofessional, Simmons alleged. They weren't carrying their load. We'd love to have Ace and Peter join us here and there, and if they don't, it's not going to be because of us, but they're never going to be in Kiss again. He added, would we welcome Ace or Peter to jump on stage for a song or two? Well, of course. Could we depend on either Ace or Peter to do a full set night after night? Not on your effing life. In response, Ace Frehley said, Gene, your memory is incorrect. I was never fired from Kiss. I quit twice, not 3 times, twice, of my own free will, because you and Paul are control freaks. You're untrustworthy. You were difficult to work with. And your slanderous remarks about my bad habits over the years has cost me millions of dollars. And now that I'm over 12 years sober, you're still saying I can't be trusted to play a whole night show. Well, that's exactly what I've been doing for the past 12 years with different configurations of the Ace Frehley band, to you and Paul's dismay. He accused Simmons and Paul of attempting to sabotage his solo career, despite each of them collaborating with him on solo projects outside of Kiss. But don't expect that to ever happen again. Today's comments have made me realize that you're just an a-hole, and a sex addict, who's being sued by multiple women, and you're just trying to sweep it all under the carpet.
They should all just be done.
The icing on the cake was when you groped my wife, propositioned her in Los Angeles at the Capitol Records building behind my back while I was trying to help you out of your vault experiences, which I only found out about several weeks later. She was planning on pursuing a suit against you, but I told her to call it off. Frehley demanded an apology from his old bandmates, as well as an offer to rejoin Kiss and kicking Tommy Thayer out. If not, Frehley says, the S will still hit the fan, and there will be no stopping it. A rep for Simmons did not immediately return a request for comment.
They should just be done.
I think they should have a cage match.
All of them should just.
It's time for them to just all lay down. Everybody lay down.
Well, I'm going to do my part, for one, and never report on anything about the band
Oh, I
again.
don't think you should say that, because every once in a while,
well, unless there's a murder.
Gene says or does something that's worth mentioning.
No, it's not. It's really not worth mentioning.
Well, is entertaining to mention.
The Utah.
Did we really have that in there?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
It was actually a hit.
The Utah Senate is 1 vote away from approving a partial Medicaid expansion, that would be more costly in the short term for a smaller pool of beneficiaries than the voter-approved Proposition 3. I'd like you to, I don't know if Dylan has a picture from the Salt Lake Tribune story, but I'd just like you to see the picture of the genius Christensen from North Ogden.
Oh, boy.
Is this the wolf hater?
Yeah. Senators voted 22-7 on Wednesday, largely along party lines during a preliminary vote.
Surprise!
Which would allow individuals earning up to 100% of the federal poverty line to enroll in Medicaid, compared with 138% for Prop 3. Utah would initially pay 30% of the Medicaid costs for new enrollees, a cost share 3 times larger than what the state would face under the voter-approved initiative. But bill sponsor Senator Alan Christensen, Republican of North Ogden, said he's received verbal assurances that the federal government would eventually agree to fund 90% of the state's Medicaid cost, ultimately reducing Utah's health care expenses. I'm willing to bet, Christensen said, I'm willing to bet that we'll get the 90-10 match. Jonathan Monroe, a spokesman for the Federal Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, would not confirm or deny any such assurances that have been given to Utah elected leaders. CMS works with each state individually to evaluate Medicaid demonstration projects to protect the integrity of that process. We don't comment. Christensen's bill requires an additional vote before moving to the House. During debate, members of the Democratic Party, the minority caucus, questioned the speed of the bill, which has not yet received even a public financial analysis.
Yep.
Despite earning committee support. This is a pretty big piece of legislation, said Senator Luz Escamilla, Democrat. This is changing the will of the people. Gene Davis, Democrat senator. This bill is indicative of a problem in Utah with the state legislature hesitant to support the needy while acting to promote Utah's affluent residents, rich people.
Exactly.
We have no problem with giving money to the rich here in Utah.
Yep.
We have no problem giving money to
Well, the rich-
corporations
the
to
rich-
help them out, to help them grow, Davis said, but we can't find dollars in the state to be able to provide health care to the working poor.
Well, because the rich work hard, so they deserve.
Do they?
The poor, they just need to work a little harder. That's
The
all.
working poor. Senator Janie Iwamoto, a Democrat, criticized Republicans' willingness to preserve only the portions of Prop 3 that bring revenue into the state coffers. Gwyneth Paltrow is firing back at a lawsuit that alleges she crashed into a skier and abandoned him on a Utah mountain. Terry Sanderson, the skier who claims he was injured in the accident, is seeking $3.1 million in damages. In the court documents obtained by CNN, Mr. Sanderson said that he was skiing at Deer Valley, and Paltrow, this is in 2016, allegedly, according to him and his lawyer, skied out of control, knocked him down, knocked him out, caused a brain injury, broke his ribs, and other serious injuries. Mr. Sanderson also claims that Ms. Paltrow, the Goop Queen, and her ski instructors then skied away and didn't help him out. Noura Raj Brown, SVP Communications for Paltrow's company, Goop, told CNN, "This lawsuit is completely without merit. Anyone who reads the facts will realize that." A source familiar with the situation said Mr. Sanderson is in fact the one who skied into Paltrow. He waited 3 years to file because nobody would take the case, the source said.
That was my suspicion with it, but...
Well, but who knows? Mr. Sanderson claims that he suffered a permanent traumatic brain injury, loss of enjoyment of life, emotional distress, and disfigurement. Paltrow's ski instructor, Eric Christensen, said the resort and 2 unnamed resort employees are also named in the suit. I think it's going to come down to unless they find some independent witnesses.
Yeah.
He said, she said. We'll see. The polar blast has enveloped the Midwest. Painfully cold system.
They have this thing called frost quakes. Have you heard this?
Yeah, they're apparently in Chicago, they've been hearing these huge booms.
Frostquake.
Boom. And they say it sounds
underground,
like sonic booms.
Yeah, because it's underground water that freezes and expands and actually moves the... moves the earth.
The cold is causing power outages. Flights have been canceled. Trains have been canceled.
Hamilton was canceled. They canceled.
Crews in Detroit will need days to repair broken water mains that burst yesterday. Other pipes can still burst in persistent sub-zero temperatures.
Well, I thought I read this morning people died as well.
At least 10 people have been counted as dead because of the cold.
You can get frostbite in 2 minutes in that cold. Just being outside for 2 minutes.
A New Jersey-based pharmaceutical company has expanded a recall of lots of liquid infant ibuprofen that probably have more ibuprofen in them than have
that can be dangerous.
Advertised. Tris Pharma's voluntary recall covers infants' ibuprofen concentrated oral suspension, USP 50 milligrams per 1.25 milliliters. 3 lots have been added to the original recall. The company says there is a remote possibility that infants more susceptible to medication with a higher potency of ibuprofen might suffer permanent renal injury. This is a CVS product.
CVS
Pharmacy.
and Equate is the brand I recognize.
Regarding the recall, contact Tris customer service. I don't know where this was sold. It doesn't say in this product.
Walmart's one of the places that it was sold.
Walmart and CVS. That's where. So if you bought any infant ibuprofen at one of those places. And Tyson, I meant to mention this yesterday, Tyson chicken nuggets sent to 5 states, including Utah. If you bought chicken nuggets, Tyson chicken nuggets, they've been recalled because their pieces of rubber have been found in a whole bunch of different chicken nuggets, frozen chicken nuggets. So if you bought Tyson chicken nuggets, they've been recalled. They might have pieces of rubber in them. I know it'll be difficult to tell the difference when you're eating them. But check if you have frozen chicken nuggets in your refrigerator. Mitch McConnell.
Oh boy.
Speaking about a bill that Democrats are putting forth to make Election Day a federal holiday, says it's a power grab.
How is that?
By the Democrats.
Well,
the first thing he said was, well, the last thing we need is to have federal workers have another holiday. I already have too many holidays. Then he says it's a power grab by the Democrats because he thinks, and maybe he's right,
because he knows
most federal workers are Democrats.
And it's not just federal workers, but he knows that people who have to have like 2 jobs have a day off and get to vote, they're not going to vote Republican. He knows that.
Election day, getting it off, it just makes sense that's an issue.
No, the Republicans' job is to make it harder to vote.
In remarks on the Senate floor, McConnell said Democrats want taxpayers on the hook for generous new benefits for federal bureaucrats and government employees, including making Election Day a new paid holiday for government workers. So this is the Democrats' plan to restore democracy, he said. A political power grab that's smelling more and more like what it is. Democracy.
Yeah, see, he's making it sound like it's just federal government workers that would have the day off. They want to make it a national holiday. And hey, how about this? Why don't we combine it with Veterans Day?
We're going to call it the Democratic...
What's a more patriotic thing to do?
Exactly.
We're going to call it the Democrat Politician Protection Act. H.R. 1 would victimize every American taxpayer by pouring their money into expensive new subsidies that don't even pass the laugh test. Voting is a power grab by citizens.
Nope.
Why can't you be confident in your own party that giving more people the opportunity to vote would mean more votes for you?
Because he's not, and he knows that won't happen.
Exactly.
He knows that. Their job is to make it hard for everybody to vote because they know that's the way they win. And gerrymandering, restrictions, voter ID, all that stuff.
And Gina, I just want you to pay attention to this story. Women,
that's me,
who dress sexy.
No, that's not me.
If you dress sexy, people will think you're stupid.
Oh.
Dressing sexy makes people think if you're a woman and you dress sexy, people think you're uneducated.
You think I'm smart then, right? In my Ute sweatshirt?
I think you give lie to this story. I think you belie this story.
Really?
Women who show some skin at graduation are assumed to have done worse in school than their more modest classmates, according to a new study from the University of Surrey and Guildford, England. Oh, these are British women, I guess.
They don't ever show skin, do they?
Perceived competence comes down to how short your skirt or how low your neckline is. Social psychologists focused on Italian college graduates.
Oh, they show skin.
With study participants looking at 24 photos of recent female degree getters, half of the gal grads were dressed in business casual jackets and trousers. The other half sported low necklines and high heels and either a dress or a skirt. When respondents rated how well the women had done in school, those showing less skin got higher marks. Well, that's pretty stupid. If you look at pictures and try to guess how well people did by the photographs and what they're wearing, you're dumb. You're the dumb one.
You're the dumb one.
You're the dumb one by trying to guess. I would look at the pictures and go, how am I supposed to tell how smart they are by what they're wearing? I can't tell. That's what I would say.
Sports, weather, traffic.
What else is dumb is the Jazz score last night. That was dumb. 132 to 105 in Portland. So they'll come home where they feel safe and loved and warm and supported, and they will do better when they play Atlanta tomorrow at 7 p.m. Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher went to a Laker game last night.
Sports?
Yeah, it's a Laker game.
It's nice to know.
All right.
Did you see that Ashton Kutcher tweeted out his phone number?
Oh, I heard
and
about
he
that,
said,
yeah.
please call me, and I don't want to interact on Twitter anymore. You can text me here, and I'll text you back.
That's stupid.
It sounds like
He changed his mind quickly. I think he took it down immediately.
It sounds like a TV show. You know, he's always got
or a commercial.
Yeah, some angle. And the weather is, we don't have a polar vortex here. I didn't even wear a coat today. 42 for a high, and the air is still bad. Traffic, we've got a big issue going on northbound I-15 at 115th South. 2 right lanes are blocked, and I'm seeing slowage on both sides of the freeway going both directions in that area. I don't know if the other direction is due to rubbernecking or if there's a separate incident there. Crash northbound I-15 at 13th South in Salt Lake. That one is off to the right shoulder. And let me check our message stream quickly. Yeah, just a couple people saying southbound I-15 before the 123rd South exit, there's a crash with a semi and a car. They sent that in via text at 33986.
All right. Beat Gina coming up in just a few moments. So you may want to start lining up for that. 877-602-9696. It's a Disney trivia today.
Oh, we got a good prize,
What's
too.
the prize?
It's a $50 Einstein's gift card.
Ah, perfect. Okay, start lining up for that. But have a prize for Gina if she beats you. Is this sponsored?
I asked Richie, and he double-checked and said no. So,
okay.
I'm sure that's a mistake.
Yep. But nothing we can do about it.
No.
All right. Yes, brand new geekshowpodcast.com available right now. Geek news on the radio. The big story in all of the news outlets that I looked at today, not just geek news, but regular news that also feature entertainment. The big news is Ben Affleck will not be Batman in the new Batman movie.
I had that at the top of my news, and I went, oh, wait, Carrie's going to do that.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. X96.com/live, you can see a picture
I don't think he's anybody's Batman, is he?
Batfleck. I liked him.
He's not your I don't think anybody says Ben Affleck was my favorite Batman.
He's no Michael Keaton.
What? Here's the thing. I don't really have a favorite Batman.
You don't?
No. If I'm picking, it's just because my favorite Joker is Heath Ledger, so I'd say Christian Bale.
But he's not necessarily.
But he's not necessarily my favorite. But I liked Batfleck just fine.
Okay.
I wanted to see that Batfleck fight the Jared Leto Joker. I did.
But you won't see that.
Not going to get that.
He's okay.
But here's the. I don't know. This is a big story to the rest of you. Those of us who have been paying attention. We've known for quite some time that Ben Affleck's not going to come back to be Batman.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
I mean, the reaction to the Justice League movie is the reason that he's had this downward spiral, okay? Yeah, you fans, you're responsible for that.
Your fault.
Speaking of the Justice League movie, Zack Snyder. Remember, he stepped away from the Justice League movie because of his family tragedy.
How far?
All the way. And we had, what's his name, come in and step in for him. Why can't I think of his name? Joss Whedon, yeah, stepped in for him. But he is back now.
Snyder is.
Zack Snyder. But rest assured, fans, don't worry. He's not going to be directing a superhero movie this time.
What's he doing?
He has been given a ton of money by Netflix to do Army of the Dead.
Oh.
A zombie horror thriller.
Oh.
He has come up with this story. The script is by Joby Harold. The adventure is set amid a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, during which a man assembles a group of mercenaries to take the ultimate gamble, venturing into the quarantine zone to pull off the greatest heist ever attempted.
I like that.
So it's like, Dawn of the Dead, 2004, which he directed. So it's like that.
Okay.
Combined with like Ocean's 11.
I'm in.
And zombies.
I'm in.
And that Dawn of the Dead remake was good.
Yes, he did a fine job with that. The Super Bowl is this weekend, and what we usually look for is, we geeks anyway, we look for movie trailers to premiere. Well, Disney has bought most of the time.
Oh, really?
They're not saying what they're going to show you, but what we have done is we've taken a look at what they have on their docket. We're pretty sure we're going to get a Captain Marvel trailer, because that's opening March 8th. Pretty sure you'll get a Dumbo trailer for the 29th. Maybe you'll get an Avengers Endgame trailer, because that's April 26th. Aladdin on the 24th of May, Toy Story 4 on June 21st, and Artemis Fowl on August 9th.
My kids are looking forward to they read all those books. They're looking forward to
I'm hearing good things about that. They have very high confidence in this Artemis Fowl. Now, you should know that the Avengers franchise and Super Bowl have a long history. They've always had a trailer. One of the Avengers movies always has had a trailer in the Super Bowl. So that's a better chance. Do not expect to see a Star Wars trailer.
That's too soon for that.
It's too damn soon. It's not until December
I know
20th.
that.
They got movies that they want you to see before that. So anybody who's telling you that there's going to be a Star Wars trailer is full of it.
Here's a question for the sports desk and the geek desk.
All right.
I don't know exactly when to start, the best time to start watching Super Bowl coverage to start getting the best commercials.
Oh, before the Super Bowl
Right,
starts.
I know before, but how soon before?
I would start with the pregame show, yeah.
Because by the time you get to halftime, it peters.
Yeah, after halftime, it's kind of
half hour or an hour before, because the good commercials start then.
Or they're all online right now.
Are they?
A lot of them.
Oh,
I've
okay.
seen about half of them.
Yeah. And Anthony Daniels tweeted Monday.
C-3PO?
Yes, that he has completed his work as C-3PO in that new Star Wars movie. Today was 3PO's last on Episode 9. He's sad, and so am I. But we're so proud to have worked with, and he thanks everybody and all that. Here's the thing. Is to me, Anthony Daniels has not really been C-3PO outside of the original trilogy, because after that, he started doing an impression of C-3PO. Go back and listen. I have the trained ear.
You're a purist?
He has been doing an impression of C-3PO.
Of himself?
Yes.
An impression of himself.
An impression of that character.
Yeah.
Go and listen to it. I'm telling you right now.
I know what you mean.
All right.
Crash northbound I-15, 46 south in Murray. Left shoulder affected there. Bad accident southbound I-15, 115th south in Draper. 2 right lanes are blocked. Northbound I-15, 13th south in Salt Lake. And it looks like northbound I-15 through Draper is having issues too. So both sides of the freeway there, I've got red cameras, which means you're down to 0 to 30 miles per hour through that area. Go to Hale, Scott Hale Plumbing, Heating, and Air for a $49 furnace tune-up, which includes a 19-point safety inspection. Scott Hale, amazingly different, surprisingly better. ScottHale.com.
All right.
You know, Valentine's Day is a good time. Well, it's a traditional time to get engaged. And Diamonds Direct is having a sale February 4th through the 14th.
So this starts on Monday.
Is that what 4th?
The 4th is Monday.
All right.
Ordinarily, we'd rush you there today. But
for a limited time, special financing so you can go big this Valentine's Day for an engagement ring if you want at Diamonds Direct, or any Valentine's Day present at Diamonds Direct. So this is it. 0 interest for 5 years on any purchase with no money down. This is amazing. February 4th through the 14th. Here are a few examples of what you could get. You could get a $5,000 diamond and sapphire bracelet for just $85 a month, or a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings for just $50 a month, or a $7,000 diamond engagement ring, less than $120 a month. So take your intended, if you're going to propose, maybe take and shop for engagement rings at Diamonds Direct. No money down and 5 years interest-free at Diamonds Direct. Their inventory has been expanded for this Valentine's sale, February 4th through the 14th at Diamonds Direct, on approved credit, 6400 South, right across from the Fashion Place Mall.
X96.
How do you feel about hot water bottles?
No, I don't have a lot of experience with those. Although it seems to my grandmother always had one hanging on the back of the bathroom door with a hose on it.
That wasn't a hot
Oh, it wasn't?
It wasn't?
Well, what was it?
Oh.
It was
Really?
red rubber
Yeah, that wasn't a hot
with
water.
a hose
Really?
on it?
No.
Wait a minute, she just left that out?
What was that for?
You really don't know?
I just want you to tell me. I might know, but
It's something that's not recommended anymore that women do.
Oh.
Don't-
Well, I think
that's what that
no,
was.
I think
that
it was
not
all-
a hot water bottle.
I think it was also used for enemas. They used them for enemas, I think, as well.
Sure.
But it was the same thing, right? It was the hot water. You could take the hose off.
I don't think you
I
should
think it was
use
the
it for
same-
all of those things.
Well, I think it was the same deal. You could take the hose off, and there was a stopper. I think.
This really disturbs me because I thought it was just a hot water
No.
bottle. It was like at my aunt's house.
Nope.
And I saw that. She just
Mm.
left that out?
Yeah, they always used to be hanging on the back, right?
I mean, she knew that we were
It's so-
coming to visit.
Yeah.
So they can dry them out.
Yeah.
You got to hang them
What are you
up.
just leaving
like,
that out for?
They were always on a hook on the back of the
People
bathroom
are coming
door.
to visit you.
It was the custom
Of
of
the
the time. Back in the day, that's what they did.
Don't do.
But I think they also used them as hot water
I hope
bottles.
not.
I'm going to look it up. I'll look it
If
up.
your grandma ever handed you a hot water bottle, I hope it was something
Hey,
different.
even if it was an enema bag, all right? Why did she leave that out? She knew that we were coming to visit. You put stuff away when you
Well,
know
where do you-
people are coming to visit.
Put that in the enema bag drawer.
I mean,
And
I
they
mean,
used
I
it-
know we're family, but
and they used
come
it for
on.
flushing other things out as well.
Yes.
They used it for douching.
Why would my aunt just leave that out?
Terry, don't douche.
I just, she's a horrible person.
No, everybody did.
I remember my grandma having it hanging on. Grandma Fern had it on the back of her.
Douche.
I mean, I didn't like her anyway, but now I really don't like her.
But see, it didn't do you any damage because you didn't know.
It's doing it now.
The memory.
It's making me think about.
Are you scarred now?
No, her thought process. Family's coming to visit. I'm just going to leave this out. I don't care.
Well, maybe somebody in the family needs an enema or a douche or a hot water bottle. It's handy.
Radio from Hell on X96. Follow us on Twitter at Radio from Hell.
I'm sorry.
And now. And now?
And now.
And now it's time to play the game that everybody wants to play. It's called Beat Gina. It's the game that I said everybody wants to play, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
And today, one lucky contestant will win a fabulous prize. It's a $50 gift certificate to Einstein Brothers Bagels. Did you know that Einstein Brothers Bagels have an average of 10 grams of protein? Surprised? I know I was. Find out more at powerofthebagel.com. Stop by any Einstein Brothers Bagels and get your protein now. And now, here's your host with the most, the one, the only, Carrie Jack Jackson.
Thank you, Johnny.
You're welcome, Carrie.
We had all 3 lines filled, but somebody got impatient and dropped off, so we do have a line open if in you hurry. 877-602-9696 if you want to play Beat Gina. Have a prize ready just in case. But how we pick the contestants is by the prize that they're going to give Gina if she beats you at Disney Trivia.
I don't do this for free.
It is Disney Trivia for the very simple reason that everyone knows. On this day in 1943, Pinocchio was released in Finland. So
I didn't know that.
I thought everybody
You're the
knew
only
that.
one that did.
Yeah, you're. Get in the know, Johnny.
I'm sorry.
All right. Okay, here are the contestants. This is what they are offering. Line 1 is offering you massage oils.
Okay.
Line 2 is offering you British biscuits.
Ooh.
Which means cookies. It's
All
a
right.
cookie. British cookies. They call them biscuits. Yeah, you have tea and biscuits.
Yes.
It's a cookie. And line 3 is offering you chocolate cake donut.
Oh. I would like the British biscuits, please.
British biscuits.
Yes.
All right, then you will be playing against Emma today. Hello, Emma.
Good morning.
Hi there, Emma. All right.
Hello.
If you defeat Gina, you will get the Einstein's gift certificate. If she beats you, then you got to give her the British biscuits. All right.
Not a problem.
Not a problem. As always, the first person to 3 points wins. If you win the coin toss, you go first. You get exclusive rights to the question. If you get it wrong, though, the other contestant gets a chance to steal, and vice versa. Coin toss app at the ready. Call it, Emma. Go ahead.
Heads, please.
Heads? You want heads? Here we go. It is tails. Gina goes first.
Yeah.
All right, Gina. Disney trivia.
All right.
Here we go.
All right.
What is the name of the hound in The Fox and the Hound?
Oh.
Yeah. Is it A, Todd, B, Chester, or C, Copper?
See, this is a trick question because it's Todd and Copper.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Todd is the fox and Copper is the hound.
That is correct. Wow.
I didn't even know that was a Disney movie.
Somebody.
I'm a fox. I'm a hound dog.
It's,
yeah.
It's 1-0, Gina's favor, but the charming Emma gets the question.
Emma, your question.
Okay.
What are the names of Ursula's 2... Emma, did we lose you? Emma just...
Oh, no.
She hung up.
Well, she was calling
No, I
from...
think-
From
No, I don't think she was calling from England, Gina.
She's,
I think there was a bit of
no.
some static electricity or some sort.
Something.
I
I
could
know it
play
wasn't me. I didn't touch anything.
I could play in Emma's plays.
You want to play in Emma's place?
Sure, and while she calls back.
You can play for Emma.
Now watch for Emma to call back, and I'll pretend that I'm Emma. Hello? Yeah, I could play for Emma.
I think we have Emma back.
Oh, we
yes,
have
we
her.
do. All right. What happened, Emma? Good heavens.
I know. I was like, I'm still here on it.
All right, Emma, here's your question. What are the names of Ursula's 2 eel sidekicks in The Little Mermaid? What are their names?
Ooh.
Is it Got 'em and Get 'em, Bubbles and Sparks, or Flotsam and Jetsam?
Bubbles and Sparks.
Incorrect, Gina.
It's Flotsam and Jetsam.
That would
Wow.
seem to be.
It's 2-0 for Gina. And I'm sorry, Emma, but Gina controls the question and has a chance to just ice you.
Gina.
Yeah.
What is the name of the cat in Cinderella?
Oh.
Is it A, Lucifer, B, Duchess, or C, Fluffy?
It's too easy.
No, not Duchess.
No help from the producer's booth.
I already said Duchess. so-
Duchess. That is incorrect. Emma, your chance to steal the point away.
It is Lucifer.
Yes.
Correct.
It's 1 point for Emma, and Emma controls the question and a chance to tie the game.
Emma, which of these contains the most protein? Is it A, a Disney churro, B, an Asiago bagel from Einstein's, or C, a lock of the Yeti's fur from the Matterhorn?
It's the Einstein bagel.
That is correct.
It's 2-2. Gina controls the question, and she has a chance to win the game with this question.
All right, Gina. What is the name of Bambi's true love? Is it A, Fauna, B, Flower, or C, Feline?
Feline.
That is correct. Oh. Emma, I'm so sorry.
She knew the Einstein's question though, and because she knew that, I still expect my biscuits, Emma. But because you knew that
I will send you them.
Because
you can totally pick the flavor.
Oh, okay,
No,
great.
you got to bring them down here so that you can get your gift certificate, because Gina's going to give you the Einstein's gift certificate. So.
All right, is that all right?
No problem.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Emma. Hang on the line. We'll get your information
Hang
from
on.
you.
All right.
Thank you. I'll have a...
Oh, thank you.
Cheerio.
Cheerio, Emma.
Oh.
Yeah, though these were all either really hard or really easy, and I pulled out the really hard ones. So, like, the easy ones is like, which movie was Disney's first ever full-length animated film?
Snow White.
Snow White.
Snow White.
Yes, very good. Which of the... no, this is a tricky one. Which of the following Disney classics was not based on an existing storyline, but an original idea from the Disney company?
Okay.
I mean, you'll hear the answer and it'll be obvious, but The Little Mermaid, Lady and the Tramp, or The Lion King?
Well, I think Lion King.
No.
Lady and the Tramp.
Lady and the Tramp is the original idea.
Huh.
One of the few that they have had.
Crash southbound I-15 119th south in Draper. Crash northbound I-15 46 south in Murray. Crash southbound I-15 115th south in Draper. So right in that same area, just after Point of the Mountain, you've got slowage going both directions on I-15 this morning. Let me check our message stream quickly, see if anybody sent anything in there. Nope. Looks like that's it. That's traffic.
All right. Thank you very much. Boners round one coming up after these.
Oh, yes, and I haven't... Well, I'll give you
That's
the...
all right.
I haven't got them in order, but I can give them to you, and this might be the order. Let's do this. The deputy was suspicious because my whites were whiter than white and my colors were brighter than bright. Boner candidate number 2, kind of a radical plan, don't you think? And number 3, and I don't know if this is the right order, you need to be more specific.
All right. Boners round one coming up along with Big Boy News. We got to tell you about the Clear the Air Challenge.
Oh, yeah. Listen.
It starts tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And this is... It's a great website to go to help you get some ideas about how to help with the air.
You can register as an individual or start a team at cleartheairchallenge.org /X96. A Utah-based company or a community or a family or friend teams can participate. You can, and then it'll give you a bunch of tips and how you can register and what you can do as a team. You could drive less, drive smarter. You can ultimately help improve air quality, optimize mobility, conserve energy in Utah. The Clean Air Challenge starts, as Gina said, tomorrow. It'll help everybody, and it'll help you. The challenge encourages us all to drive less and drive smarter. So employers are encouraged to offer compressed work weeks and teleworking in the workplace. Employees and individuals are encouraged to seek out public transportation, to trip chain, to bike, to walk, to carpool whenever possible. So just go to cleartheairchallenge.org.
Here at X96,
we found a pair. My wife found a pair, I should say, of clown shoes at the DI. A giant
Sad
pair.
dead clown.
I've got a.
That's immediately what I thought was dead clown.
How else do they end up
I went right to dead clown.
What's sad about a dead clown? That is a day of celebration.
Depends on where you find him.
Yeah.
If you find him in the forest, that's kind of sad.
It's a gigantic pair. I think they were. I'll take a picture of them and present them next week.
She bought them?
Yeah, for my kid. Giant pair of. They're plastic, but they're meant to be. You can wear them. A giant pair, and I think they're pastel, like baby blue. Clown shoes.
Is there a law that says clown shoes should always be red?
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
what I thought.
They're red. The nose is red. The shoes are red.
It seems to me they were, yeah.
And was he excited about the clown shoes?
Thrilled.
Congressman Bozo would like to put forth the following law: that clown shoes will always be red.
You know, I proposed this many years ago. I think we should have a National Clown Day, where everyone in the United States, by law, everyone, by law, is required to wear a clown costume. And I mean everyone, from the president to the members of Congress.
You wouldn't do that.
If it was a law,
you would stay home.
Police officer in your home, people could come and knock, authorities would come and knock on your door dressed as clowns. And say,
clown check.
Are you? Yeah, exactly. Are you in there? If you're not dressed as a clown, you're going to clown jail.
You see, this is why Bill would be an excellent Republican. He fails to see the constitutionality, and that's why
the Constitution is suspended for one
day.
One day, maybe a week. A week.
What is the purpose of everybody being a clown?
It would humble all of us. It would humble all of us. We would all become clowns.
That's why you won't do it.
I can see exactly.
I think National Clown Week, and everyone has to dress as a clown for an entire week. You'd have to go to old folks' homes and dress the retirees and the shut-ins as clown. Even if it meant just as something as simple as just putting a nose on them.
Question.
Yes.
What about people in comas?
Yes.
Because they need to be humbled. If you've ever met a bunch of people that are up,
surgeons, people performing surgery, and the patients, everyone. And now a surgeon, he couldn't wear the big dumb gloves, but he could. You'd maybe have to have a nose on under the mask. All of that.
All right.
Right. I think I'm gonna. You elect me. You elect me the mayor of Salt Lake. I'll start it in Salt Lake. It'll be Salt Lake Clown Week, and everyone in Salt Lake will have to dress as a clown.
Now, luckily, I live in unincorporated Salt Lake, so
that's you'll be. But if you come into my city,
all right,
no clowning around.
Oh.
All right.
That's where the term clown fever will come from. People who are sick and won't come in.
Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right, 722. Remember that information because you're going to need it to vote for round one of your boners. Presenting now 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you'll decide with your vote, of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it is not boner of the day yet. Has a pretty good chance, 50-50 at this point.
Sure
It'll
does.
have to defeat the winner of round 2's voting. So we do this again at 8:20. With 3 more candidates. So we'll take the winner of each round and put them into boner fight at 9:20. That's when boner of the day is decided by you. So pick your champion for round 1 now. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you will vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive
I Can't Buy It, Gotta Win It Radio from Hell boner t-shirt courtesy of Excel Automotive Repair. Now they always do this, $50 bring in a used car and we'll tell you if it's good or not, if you should buy it or not. They have a car there, a used car that they're selling with a brand new engine in it. I talked to Steve yesterday and he said, don't bring in some other used car. We've got one here that we've completely rebuilt the engine in it. It's got a brand new clutch, brand new battery. It's practically a brand new car.
It's a Subaru, right?
And it's a Subaru, which this time of year with the weather being bad, people are looking for them. So go to Excel Automotive Repair, ask them about the Subaru that they have for sale there.
All right.
Here's boner candidate number 1. It was kind of a radical plan, don't you think? A Navy sailor is accused of trying to derail his drug test back in May. He was stationed at Naval Air Station Oceana in Virginia. And he's third class, specialist third class Curtis Johnson. And he had to take a drug test, and so he did a urine sample.
There he is, x96.com/live.
I think this is after he's been drummed out of the Navy, this picture, because he doesn't look like a sailor, does he?
No.
In order to prevent the results of his urine test being used against him at an adverse administrative proceeding, which he had reason to believe he would be failing, he set his urine sample on fire.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. He set his pee sample on fire during a routine urine screening. Prosecutors allege that Johnson lied to investigators when he claimed that he left the base at 5 p.m. to go to Philadelphia when he was actually still on the post the evening of the alleged arson. He also tried to light the pee on fire in an occupied building. The Navy held a hearing for Johnson earlier this month, but they haven't set his trial date. Yeah, he set his pee sample on fire during this routine. So he had the cup.
Okay.
He had the urine in the cup.
I'm still stuck on the fact that you can set that on fire, right?
Well, it's just a plastic cup. He just set the cup on fire.
Okay.
There are other things he might have done.
Yeah.
But the first thing he thought of was, I guess, pulling out a lighter.
Fire.
And setting it on fire.
That's where his brain went. It just
kind of a radical plan, don't you think?
Defaulted to fire.
Boner candidate number 1.
All right.
Here's boner candidate number 2. I think you need to be a little more specific. I mean, we'd like to help, man, but you got to be a little more specific. A Florida woman reported being groped by a costumed creep during a pirate-themed parade. The victim told police that an unidentified man, who she described as a pirate, groped her during a parade.
We get a description of the man?
Yeah, he was a pirate.
All right.
She said,
we're looking for a pirate.
Well, and this was...
You're never going to find it.
Well, see, this was the Gasparilla Parade of Pirates.
Oh, well, that's a
in Tampa, Florida, in which everyone was dressed as a pirate.
No, but this one was a real pirate.
I can assure you, madam, that it was not I, Captain Jack Sparrow.
So she was at the parade. This is in Tampa, Florida, and she was one of the women throwing beads and.
Wow. And she got groped by a pirate.
Yeah. Investigators said that the man, all she could say was he grabbed my breast, he pulled down my shirt, he grabbed my breast. Okay, ma'am, could you provide us with a description? Yeah, he was a pirate. Well, what did he, give me some more. Well, I don't know, he was dressed like a pirate. He had an eye patch, and he was dressed like a pirate, with a bandana. That could describe anyone in the parade, man. Well, Boner candidate number 2. I mean, we're sorry this happened to you, but you have to be more specific. Well, he had the smell of alcohol on his breath. It could be anyone.
Pirate.
Boner candidate number 2, you have to be more specific.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3, the deputy was suspicious because my whites were whiter than white and my colors were brighter than bright.
All right. Boner candidate number 3 for round 1 coming up after this big boy news and opinioendo brought to you by.
Want something extra with your wrap? At Subway restaurants, you can buy any signature wrap and get a 21-ounce drink for only $1 more. Stop by Subway today and save.
Chicago police said late yesterday, that detectives have found footage of people of interest in the attack of Empire star Jussie Smollett.
Not Jussie, I think it is.
Oh, it's Jussie,
Yeah.
yes, that's a U. Jussie Smollett. Spokesman Anthony Guglielmi released 2 photos of people of interest who were in the area of the alleged attack. Blurry images that show 2 figures in dark clothing walking down the sidewalk next to a building. Police said an encounter, they didn't actually, the images, the video did not catch an attack actually, but these 2 people walking down by the building, the timestamp on the video corresponds to pretty much the time or right after the time he said the attack occurred. Mr. Smollett was hospitalized Tuesday after 2 people, he said, hit him in the face, put a rope around his neck, berated him with homophobic and racial slurs.
This might be a hate crime. We're not sure.
The attackers also poured an undisclosed substance on him. He stars as one of the stars of the TV show Empire. He was in good condition after the ordeal. The attack on the black actor who came out as gay in 2015 is being investigated as a possible hate crime. I think now he was, they have his word, they have his description that they yelled homophobic slurs and racial slurs, but the fact that they put a rope around his neck.
Isn't that enough?
Yeah.
Well, it might be.
There haven't been any arrests in connection to the incident, nor have any suspects been identified. I don't have the story in front of me, but I heard this morning that the Utah State Legislature, they're again considering hate crimes legislation in Utah, and they're talking about it in terms of, well, we need to include LGBTQ people in hate crimes legislation. But somebody said, well, we need to consider how many different kinds of people should we include in hate crimes legislation? And I thought to myself, well, you should include everybody.
Yeah.
Why do you have to have?
Why do you have to label
Why do you
it?
have to have like a long list of categories of different kinds of people included in the legislation? A hate crime could be, theoretically could be committed against any group of people, right?
Well,
why do you have to have some laundry list of kinds of people?
Because if somebody assaulted you, Bill, and said, I hate radio, does that count?
Or I hate your show?
Yeah, I can
think,
see where they're like, okay, where do we...
I think you can have, go ahead and include a list, some list of people, and then conclude it with and or any other group that we deem may be included.
But that's so vague, it's hard to prosecute, which is the problem with the law right now.
No. I'm just saying, you have a list of groups that are obvious that may be included. But what the problem with the law right now is that it's not that they're misdemeanors, they're not felonies. That's the problem.
Yes, Richie?
Is that it elevates it to a felony.
It needs to be elevated to a felony.
Right.
That's the problem.
But then if you're saying to put everything on the list, then all crimes could be hate crimes. So then there's no distinction between a hate crime and a crime, right?
No.
That's sort of my takeaway.
Well, and it's also for a judge to decide whether it's a hate crime.
I think that I think it's just it's an enhancement to a crime.
Yeah.
If somebody's going around and beating people up because they beating them with baseball bats because they represent the broadcast industry, that could be considered a hate crime, couldn't it?
But assault is already against the law, so the hate crime is an enhancement.
But if they are doing it because they're in the broadcast industry specifically, and they keep stating that over and over again so that people in the broadcast industry are afraid to walk outside of their studios, that's a hate crime. I mean, isn't it?
I mean, but this is why they're having the debate about it.
I'm just saying that I don't know why you have to anyway. So let me move on to another story.
Quick one.
We're done?
No, you have a minute.
Christine Blasey Ford, Representative Jackie Spear has announced that she has nominated Christine Blasey Ford for this year's John F. Kennedy Profile and Courage Award. I don't know why they're going to nominate this liar for a Courage Award. So she gets up and lies in front of Congress, and they're going to, I guess it takes courage to tell lies about a Supreme Court or a potential Supreme Court justice, huh? Is that what that is? I don't get that. And let's do this story, too. The FBI, they thought it was just another sinkhole in Florida. Mm-hmm. Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
Turns out it's not just a sinkhole. Somebody was digging a tunnel to a bank.
Yep.
Florida Public Works were in for a surprise when the sinkhole that they reported ended up being a tunnel to a nearby Chase Bank. The crew found a power cord in the hole running to a nearby wooded area. FBI agents and police officers located the entrance of the tunnel, which was roughly 50 yards long and led to the bank. Although it didn't reach the bank, the FBI is investigating the tunnel as an attempted bank robbery. It's unclear how long the tunnel had been there.
Do they think the safe wall is made of dirt and they'll just come right out into the safe?
I don't know.
It is Florida, after all. Yeah. Weather, traffic.
Our weather is boring and the air is bad. We might get some storms this weekend that will clear it out. It'll be rain, actually, on Saturday. Better chance of snow on Monday, Tuesday. But today, partly sunny and 42 for a high. Traffic, we've got crash 12th Street, 12th West in Ogden. Crash southbound I-15, 119 south in Draper. Crash northbound I-15, 46 south in Murray. Crash southbound I-15, 115th south in Draper. And we've still got that major slowage both sides of I-15, both directions, coming from Point of the Mountain into the Draper Sandy area. Nobody sent me anything recently via text, but if you see something you want to share with folks, 33986 is where you do that.
All right, here's boner candidate number 3. Well, I guess the deputy was suspicious because my whites were whiter than white and my colors were brighter than bright. Matt Kroll spent 41 days in jail, wrongfully accused. According to the Martin County Sheriff's Office in Florida, he was locked up over Christmas and New Year's. But he and 10 other people are out now, and the deputy is fired. Mr. Kroll had a white powdery substance that was found in the driver's side door, wrapped in plastic with a hair tie around it. Mr. Kroll said it was Tide laundry detergent. Deputy Stephen O'Leary said it was heroin, a lot of heroin.
Oh.
I just looked at him baffled and confused because I had no idea as to where 92 grams of heroin had come from inside my van, Mr. Kroll said. Mr. Kroll said he bought his Astro van about 3 weeks prior for $1,400, so maybe the last owner had left the heroin behind, but the street price of 92 grams of heroin, according to American Addiction Centers, could cost more than $18,000. He wasn't fit to just be a cop, Mr. Kroll said. Kroll was parked at a Jensen Beach KFC, asleep in the van. He admits that he had taken a sip of Budweiser that was in the cup holder. Paramedics arrived, then deputies, including Mr. O'Leary. Mr. Kroll has been in trouble with the law before, but he says nothing like this. In the past, when I have gone to jail, it's, been something where I knew I wasn't going to be there forever. It's a lot different than going to jail with the charge of trafficking in heroin carries a penalty of 25 years in prison, he said. He was one of 11 people freed from jail because of whatever drug O'Leary said it was turned out to be something legal. Martin County Sheriff William Snyder distancing his department from Deputy O'Leary. No matter what we do, no matter how hard we try, just based on the law of possibilities, there's always a possibility that one bad apple like this deputy will slip through, he said. I think that's just their play, that they're going to keep their name clear, said Mr. Kroll, the guy who spent time in jail for having Tide in his car.
Yeah.
Boner candidate number 3. The deputy was suspicious because my whites were whiter than white, my colors were brighter than bright.
All right, let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, kind of a radical plan, don't you think? To set your pee sample on fire to get out of a drug test. Boner candidate number 2, ma'am, you're going to be unique. You're going to need to be a little more specific. It was a pirate-themed parade, and if you say you were assaulted by a pirate, you kind of provide a better description than just a pirate. And boner candidate number 3, well, I'm not going to do the title again.
It was exhausting.
Yeah.
All right, this is round 1 of your boner voting. You've got to decide who is the worst of these 3, which one of these candidates deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it's got to defeat the winner of round 2's voting. Round 2 happens at 8:20 with 3 more candidates. We'll take the winner there, throw both winners into boner fight at 9:20. That's when you'll decide boner of the day. All right, so 1, 2, or 3. Remember the candidate number, the one you think should win. Put that number in the message of a text. Text it to 33986. Or you can call 877-602-9696. Or go to x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Voting January 31 and vote there. But you might want to hurry. You've only got 300 seconds to do it. Let's go. This is round 1.
Start your workday at 10 a.m. with a 1-hour non-stop music wingding on X96.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of 2 such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders. Today, we find our elders roaming a desolate, uncharted, dark, smelly planet, looking for someone or something to convert. It is sometime between breakfast and lunch.
Oh, man, I don't feel so well.
I warned you against eating eggs you found in the middle of nowhere on a planet that isn't even on the map.
But I was hungry. Besides, they were tasty.
Well, if you don't feel well now, you have no one to blame but yourself. Come on, we're falling behind schedule.
How can we have a schedule on a planet with nothing on it?
We won't know if this planet is uninhabited until we explore some more of it. Come on, let's go.
What the flip? Lehigh, help!
Ew. George, it looks like your breakfast isn't setting well with you. What the heck is that? Looks like the planet is inhabited after all.
Get it off me!
Stand back. I'll take care of it.
Oh, hi, ma'am. Who are you? And why in heaven's name are you pointing what appears to be a flamethrower at my companion?
Name's Ripley. Lieutenant Ripley, and I'm about to torch that little critter before it gets a chance to make a run for it.
Hi, my name is Newt.
Well, it's nice to meet you both. I'm Elder Christiansen, and this is Elder Jensen.
Hi.
We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know, the Mormons.
We were wondering if you'd ever heard of our church, and if so, if you'd like to learn more.
Enough with the chit-chat. I need to kill that monster before it grows any bigger and has a chance to fight back. Now, Lehigh, wasn't it? If you would just stand back a bit so I can get a clear shot at your friend's chest.
I will do no such thing. All that little critter has done is ruined a perfectly good suit for Mr. Mac, and as long as there's a chance in heck of converting either it or its mother, we would prefer that you leave it be.
Do what you have to do. God knows I will.
Look out, Butch!
Burn, you bastard, burn. Sorry, I meant the alien thing, not your companion.
Butch? You okay? Butch, speak to me.
Is this the end of Butch? Will Lehigh take a shot at converting the alien queen despite the charbroiling of one of her offspring by Lieutenant Ripley? Will Newt get to say anything else in this episode? Tune in next time to hear...
Say, Lehigh, these things aren't half bad cooked, Hey, has anybody got any Tabasco sauce?
In the next titty-twisting episode of Space Elders!
On X96.
All right, coming up in a moment, I need a squirrel expert.
You're putting a call out for
I got a question.
Is there? You mean you want a squirrel expert to call in?
Well, just to listen and to contact me to see if this is because something happened and I need to know if this is normal.
Okay, 877-602-9696. You might, if you might call if you're a squirrel expert.
Wait to hear what happened first. All right.
It's rats with fuzzy tails.
They're adorable rats with fuzzy tails. Let's award round one of your boners.
And round one of your boners are brought to you by, in part by Roasted Broccoli.
And Excel Automotive has a 2007 Subaru Outback for sale. All-wheel drive, brand new engine, brand new clutch, brand new battery. It runs amazing. It's only $7,499 for practically a brand new car. It runs amazing. It's a really good car. You know, Excel Automotive, we tell you, if you want to buy a used car, take it there and they'll check it out for you. This is one that they've fixed up and it's ready to go. So go by Excel Automotive Repair, 33rd South 30s. Talk to Steve about the car they have for sale.
So we had boner candidate number 1. Well, it's kind of a radical plan, don't you think? You take a drug test by peeing into a cup, and then you're nervous because you know you're not going to pass, so what do? Set the cup on fire! No. Boner candidate number 2, you need to be a little bit more specific, ma'am. You're attending the pirate-themed parade there, and there are a bunch of guys dressed as pirates, and one of them gropes you. And you tell police, I was groped. Could you give me a description of the man? Yes, he looked like a pirate.
Need a little...
And that's about all she could provide. And then boner candidate number 3, the deputy was suspicious because my whites were whiter than white and my colors were brighter than bright. It was tied in a plastic bag in a van that this guy had bought, some Tide laundry detergent. The deputy was convinced it was heroin. And it was enough to keep this guy somehow in jail for several days, a couple of weeks.
Just wrong.
Yeah. It was just laundry detergent. Tyler Mitchell, I wonder if that's our friend Tyler Mitchell. He won a boner T-shirt, and the winner, boner candidate number 3, the laundry detergent.
Very deserved. Very deserved to be the winner of round 1. It now goes forward to boner fight. It might be boner of the day. You won't know that until later. Because round 2 happens at 8:20. We get 3 more candidates, so we pick another winner. We take both winners and throw them into boner fight at 9:20. That's when you'll decide boner of the day. All right. I saw this the other day. I'd never seen anything like it. Dylan, do not put the picture up until I ask you to, please. But I did take a picture of it because I've never seen anything like this. Now, I've lived in my house for a considerable period of time. And in that time, I have had squirrels in my trees in the backyard, much to the chagrin of my wife. She does not like birds nor squirrels.
Shouldn't trust them.
Well, they're vermin.
Well, yeah, she doesn't like either birds or squirrels.
Squirrels are vermin.
And she yelled at me for feeding the first squirrel.
You're encouraging them to stay.
I'm encouraging them to stay.
What's his name? Skillet.
I named, all of my squirrels are named Skillet.
Which I love, by the way.
And all of the squirrels that live in my backyard die the same way. They get run over by a car on the street below my house.
Yeah, not in your backyard.
Not in my backyard. They get run over on a car on the street below my house.
Okay.
And I know because I don't see squirrels for a month, and then one decides, I'll take over. I'll take over the backyard here. Now, I've in the backyard, I have seen squirrels, because I have oak trees, they take the acorns, and they hoard them, and I found them hidden in places.
Well, sure.
I have these pots, like for potted plants in the back, and I have them turned upside down because there isn't a plant in them, and the squirrels will scurry under there, and they'll use them as storage for the acorns.
Sure.
And I've often seen one of the many incarnations of Skillet up in the tree eating a pine cone and chewing on it because it's noisy and I can hear them and they're chewy, and it's adorable. And you see the pieces falling. But I have never seen, this is like the 5th generation of Skillet. So Skillet number 5, I have never seen a squirrel do this. If you would show this, x96.com/live.
They're all piled up there.
The squirrel has taken pine cones and piled them around the base of one tree.
Okay.
Now, I have several trees in my backyard, but this is the tree that he lives in. This is where all the Skillets have lived.
Yeah.
And they have never done that.
He's showing off.
He has piled these pine cones around the base of the tree, and if you see around the back, it's going up even higher. honestly, when I saw that the first time, that scared me.
I think he's showing off.
It scared you?
It scared me
Why
because
did
it
it
seemed like
scare
some
you?
kind of Blair Witch stuff, or some kind of voodoo ritual or something, because I've never seen a squirrel do that. So I'm just wondering, is this a weird squirrel?
I think he's showing
Or is
off.
this
Or is
squirrel-
this squirrel behavior that I have yet to be exposed to?
I think you just say, look at this.
You know?
That's it. Look at all these pine cones I got.
I mean, I put this on Sue put this on Twitter and I retweeted it, and people were like disturbed by this.
Maybe he's.
Are you sure? You sure he's doing it? You've seen him do it.
Well, I don't know who else would be doing it.
Maybe it's somebody in the neighborhood who's sneaking.
Maybe it's a Blair Witch. I don't know.
There are no footprints.
But there are no footprints around it. And I can't explain it. I've never seen.
So is he eat? He must be eating them in the tree and dropping them down
or
there.
he's,
Well, yeah. Is that his leavings?
No, but these are full.
Oh. Well, it's his food storage.
Pine cones.
It's his.
Yeah, he's a Mormon squirrel.
But he's not storing them in any place like the other squirrels did. The other squirrels found places, hidey holes to put them in. He's just is he a lazy squirrel?
Maybe he's too fat to carry him up to the top.
Maybe he's
so
rabid.
Just leave this here.
I've seen him. He's not fat.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just
The
lazy.
squirrels in my backyard are skinny little.
Yeah, because usually they hide stuff. A guy says that he thinks that he didn't hide them. He just wants them close.
He's rabid.
Oh, I would say overworking squirrel. That looks to me like he filled the hidey holes.
Yeah.
And now there's just a big pile of them.
Now, see, Mormon. Someone says that that this is normal, the way the squirrels do this. But this is the first time, like I said, in over 10 years I've lived in this house. This is the first time that I've seen a squirrel hoarding or storing his stuff like this
around the bottom of the tree.
Yeah, like I said, they always found places to hide them, and I would be surprised when I would find acorns.
Did you do something recently new in your flower bed? Like, did you put rocks down
Yes.
or something? So they probably couldn't burrow into where they would have hid it normally. So now there's,
look at you!
Yeah, so they have to just store it on top.
We did. We took that dirt out and replaced it with some other dirt, and then we put a layer of rocks down.
There you go.
Yep.
And they're not gravel; they're like big rocks.
That's what it is.
So
They're taking away their hidey places.
Look at you. You relate to squirrels.
That's because he's nuts.
Hi-yo.
That must be it. Yeah, that's
okay.
That's got to be it.
So it's your fault.
It is my fault. I'm sorry, Skillet.
He was probably swearing at you.
Clear away those damn rocks.
And I got rid of some of the potted plants,
What am I
pots.
supposed to do with it?
Yeah, that's
So
what
he
it
didn't
is.
have any place to store them.
That's what. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for CSIing that out, you guys. I was really concerned it was the Blair Witch or something.
Where else am I going to put this stuff?
I got all his nuts.
Get out of it.
Vehicle fire southbound I-15, 142nd south in Draper, right shoulder there. Crash 300 north, SR-119. That's in Richfield. I don't know. Maybe you're going there.
Nah.
Maybe you're streaming us down there. Yeah, pretty major slowage southbound I-15 through Draper Sandy area and northbound I-15 just coming around Point of the Mountain. It's just a mess both directions. That's traffic.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Sean Means reviewing the movies that are opening this weekend in theaters. And maybe he'll even tell us a little bit about the Sundance because he's up in Park City for the Sundance Film Festival. So stand by for that. We do, let's see. Yes, that's on the way. Stand by.
And now, here's another unromantic moment in Valentine's history.
Oh, Debbie, you're so hot.
Crater. Spell it with me now. Crater, C-R-A-T-E-R. And now we'll use it in some dialogue featuring that quintessential Utahn LeGrand R. Dunn and his son, LeGrand R. Dunn II, or LeGrand Jr., as the family calls him. Let's join them now as they stand in the line to see Santa Claus at the mall.
Now you remember, Junior, tell Santy nice and loud what you want for Christmas.
Okay.
But only ask for them inexpensive gifts that we already discussed betwixt the two of us.
I'm afraid of Santa Claus, Dad. He won't hurt me, will he?
Oh, no, of course not. As long as you don't ask him for them expensive gifts.
Okay.
You see that little boy over there with the broken arm?
Yeah.
He asked Sandy for one of them fancy video game thingers. Sandy has a lot of work to do at Christmas time, and he can get a little bit testy.
Well, how come Santa Claus gives us presents at Christmas time? I mean, Christmas is his birthday, not ours. We should give Santa Claus presents.
What? You think Christmas is Sandy Claus's birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, I knew I shouldn't have let you go to public school. I knew I should have kept up with that John and Vicky Singer home study plan. Christmas is not Sandy's birthday.
Well, whose birthday is it then?
Christmas is the birthday of Jesus Christ our Savior. And Jesus is the Son of God, the creator of the universe, and the creator of everybody and everything that's in it.
Everybody? I mean, did God create Batman?
Yes.
And Barney?
Yes.
And Coral Malone? And you and me and Mommy and even Santa Claus?
He is the creator of all things.
So I guess if God and Santa Claus got in a fight, God would win then.
That's it. We are getting out of this line, and we're going over to Temple Square right now. You have got some learning to do.
All right. Is this sponsored, Gina?
It should be.
All right. Thank you. Well, he's on the phone.
Sean Means, who is still in Park City, I believe. Is that right, Sean?
Yes, I am.
Where are you right now?
I am in my hotel room at near the library.
I was going to say, yeah, don't say where you're staying.
Yeah, because people will mob you. Sean Means, of course, the film writer, culture writer for the Salt Lake Tribune. You can read Sean's stuff, sltrib.com, and always find reviews and other writings at moviecricket.net. So, Sean, you want to talk about the movies that are opening first here, just commercially?
Yes. Starting out, we got one artsy of note. It's called Cold War. This was actually a bit of a surprise when the Oscar nominations came out, because not only was it nominated for foreign language film, it is from Poland, but it was also nominated for cinematography and director for the Polish director Paweł Polakowski. And it is the first time since the Oscars went to the more than 5 format that a director got nominated and did not get Best Picture nomination.
Wow.
Now, it's a true story or based on a true story?
No, this is a drama set during the Cold War and involving two musicians, woman and man, who have passionate but doomed tragic romance, and they meet and then they separate and then they meet again, and it is very sort of stylized in its view. It's all in black and white, and how their doomed romance mirrors what's going on politically in the world.
Oh, okay.
It is really beautiful. It is really worthwhile. So 3.5 stars.
3.5 for Cold War. All right, there's your artsies.
Yep.
And then you've only seen one of the fartsies.
One of the
right?
fartsies. We got 2.
Yeah, the Miss Bala was not screened for Salt Lake audiences, and I wouldn't have been down there anyway. So this is actually a remake of a Mexican movie about a young woman who gets caught up with drug cartels and has to scheme and fight her way out to save herself, save her friends, and get revenge on all the bad guys.
Okay.
In this, the American remake is directed by Catherine Hardwicke, who did Twilight, and it stars Gina Rodriguez.
Okay, we like her.
So we like her.
All right.
That's all I know.
But not screened. But you did see Destroyer, though.
Destroyer, yes. This was Nicole Kidman's bid for an Oscar this year. Didn't happen, but she plays a very beat up, very jaded LA sheriff's detective who finds out that somebody is back, and all we know is Silas is back, and that sets her off on a path of destruction to find Silas before he finds her.
Well, wouldn't it set you off if Silas was back? It would me. I know.
Well, and of course, half the movie is flashback to explain who Silas is and why it's a bad thing that he's back.
Yeah.
As she sort of goes from goes to one person and says, "Where can I find find Silas?" Says, "I don't know, but ask this person." And it goes on and on through this sort of string of people until ultimately we find Silas, who's played by Toby Cabell.
Mm-hmm. I like him a lot. He's good.
And along the way, we also one of the people on the route is played by Tatiana Maslany,
and she's good too.
From Black. And in the flashback, we find out that it somehow involves her when she was a young sheriff's deputy who went undercover as the girlfriend of an FBI informant who was infiltrating this group of bank robbers. And informant was played by Sebastian Stan from Bucky Barnes.
Yeah. And
things went awry as we assume because everybody talks about it.
Mm-hmm.
This is very stylishly directed. Nicole Kidman gives a great performance, but the story is just so bare bones as detective stories go that it's almost not worth it. So it's a very sort of mixed thing. So I gave it 2.5 stars.
2.5 for Destroyer. All right, let's run these down. Cold War 3.5 stars. Miss Bala Not Screened and Destroyer 2.5. And next week looks like more things opening.
Mm-hmm.
But Lego Movie. The Lego Movie 2, the second part.
Mm-hmm.
Cold Pursuit, which is Liam Neeson as a snowplow driver with a particular set of skills.
Yeah. He says he's just going to keep doing them.
I'm sorry, go ahead. He's in this one, he's going after the drug lords who caused his son's death. So.
Good for him.
All right.
Yeah, and also The Prodigy, which is a horror movie of some sort, and What Men Want, which is Taraji P. Henson in a very broad comedy, actually a remake of the Mel Gibson What Women Want.
And a Tyler Perry movie. So there you go.
All right.
Not quite, but it might as well be.
All right. And then, so now tell us a little bit about what's going on at Sundance. What have you really liked, and what's left?
Well, we're in the waning days. We're in the second half of the festival, which is really the fun, for a lot of ways, the more fun part of the festival. I mean, the first half is all celebrities and corporate parties and crowds and whatnot. The second half, things calm down a little bit. The gifting lounges are being dismantled. And the place has been like reclaimed by filmmakers. This is a chance where you actually might get a chance to talk to a director about the movie they made. Mm-hmm. It is much more about sort of the pure film aspect of it. It's not all the trappings and so on.
This is what Sean thinks is the fun part. Okay.
The fun part is actually seeing the movies and enjoying the filmmakers,
mm-hmm.
not going through all the rigmarole.
Sure.
Sunday is the last day, and Saturday night will be the awards ceremony, where we find out who wins all the big awards, and then they screen all those winners Sunday. And it's usually a great chance to get in, because a lot of the people that are up here in Park City are busy packing up their condo, packing up and getting their rides back to the airport. So if you come up on Sunday, you've got a good chance of getting into pretty much any show you want to get into. There've been some great ones. There've been some good ones. One I saw last night that surprised me was called Honey Boy, because it's written by Shia LaBeouf. And right there,
yeah.
People have gone, oh my God! But actually, this is sort of a very redemptive thing. This is a script he wrote in rehab as a writing assignment, and it is a fictionalized story about a child actor who becomes an adult actor, and as a screwed up adult actor, gets sent to rehab, and so he thinks about the bad stuff that happened to him as a child actor with his father. It is semi-autobiographical.
I was going to say, write what you know.
And yeah, exactly. And Shia LaBeouf plays the father in this. So,
really?
It is very good, and I think it is a chance for sort of a reappraisal of looking at Shia LaBeouf as an actor and as a writer, and getting past all the things about him as tabloid fodder.
Well, anything I've ever seen him in, if you overlook what he does as a tabloid fodder, he's almost always good as an actor.
Right, and I think if he's getting that part of his life straightened out, then it'll be worthwhile to see what he does with the rest of it.
Right.
So,
all right. Sean, we gotta run. I'm sorry to cut you off, but we have to run. Come home to us, Sean. Come home to us. Your family misses you. All right.
Yeah, a few more days, and I'll be home to the family.
All right. And see you later.
Thanks, Sean.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right.
His family does miss him. I know they do.
Crash northbound I-15 75th South in Midvale. Vehicle fire southbound I-15 142nd South in Draper. That's off to the right shoulder. Let's see. Wayne County, we don't need a...
No, we don't.
We'll let my cousin Bruce know.
Okay.
What's happening in Loa?
That's traffic.
Listen, if appraised values are up all along the Wasatch Front for homes, and your home, if you've lived in it a year or more, I almost guarantee you the appraised value of your home is up. So, Rand Life has helped people save money They helped families save $700 a month by paying off high-interest credit cards and consolidating the family's expenditures into one low fixed interest rate. Exclusively now for X96 listeners, Rand Life will offer a free appraisal up to $400 credit for anybody looking to do a refinance and pull money out of your home, and that can be used for remodeling or paying off high-interest debts or paying for a vacation. So if you have more than your share of debt right now, but you do own a home with some equity, give Rand Life Home Loans a call at 801-478-4500. That's 478-4500. Talk to a debt consolidation specialist. If it looks like a good fit, they'll pay up to $400 for a home appraisal, and you might get yourself some money from your home in home equity. That's 801-478-4500 or randlife.com.
X96 is a proud partner of Sundance Institute.
Organ. Spell it with me now. O-R-G-A-N. And now we'll use it in some dialogue. Here they are then, our two Utah men, Elder LeGrand R. Dunn Jr. and his disreputable friend LeVar. Again, the word is organ.
Thanks for joining me here to the hospital and keeping me company, LeVar. Brother Jensen from my ward is having his prostate tuned up, and we're taking turns waiting at the hospital for word. He hasn't got any kin or nothing, so the elders' quorum is helping out.
Least I can do, LeGrand. You've always been a good friend to me, so I thought I could just keep you from getting bored. Hospitals give me the willies, though.
Ooh, yeah, not the best place to be spending the day, but Elder Jensen needs our support. I always give blood, too, just as long as I'm here.
They don't let me donate blood, you know, because of that unfortunate dose of hepatitis I had a few years back.
I remember. You were as yellow as a lemon for about a month.
That's right.
Looked like one of them Simpsons cartoon characters.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, hand me that People magazine there, would you?
This one here with Mickey Mantle on the cover?
Yeah.
Too bad about the Mick
Yeah.
kicking off like that right after a liver transplant.
Well, he abused himself, LeVar. Smoking and drinking. You should take a listen.
You know, my cousin up in Portland had to get a transplant. He's doing fine. That was a couple of years ago.
Oh, I didn't know you had kin up to Portland in the Northwest there.
Oh, yeah. My entire family comes from Oregon. We got started in Eugene, Oregon, but then moved to Portland, Oregon when I was just a shaver.
Well, how come you moved to Portland? Your dad get a better job?
Nah, we moved to be closer to Mom after she was committed to the Oregon State Mental Hospital just outside of Portland. Turned out okay, though, because the welfare office in Portland was open on Saturday.
By the way, LeVar, what kind of transplant did your cousin get up there in Oregon?
Hair plugs, got himself a hair transplant.
Well, that's real serious surgery.
Hey, now don't you go making light of that. Them things can get infected. Stick. Spell it with me now. S-T-I-C-K. And now we'll use it in some dialogue between our two Utah friends, Elder LeGrand R. Dunn Jr. and his wayward friend LeVar. The boys have gone to a local building supply store for plumbing fixtures. Let's listen as a conversation ensues. Again, the word is stick.
I think you're going to need a few different things to fix up your problem, LeVar. Just a tube of caulk ain't going to do the trick.
Well, I'll take your best advice on this job, LeGrand. I mean, that toilet's got to where it's leaking so bad, just putting towels around the base ain't holding back the flow no more. I mean, it worked for a couple of months, but this morning I was ankle deep in water, clear out to the kitchen. What do I need to buy here?
Well, first off, you're going to need a wax seal, and then you're going to need to replace that float ball thingy.
Uh-huh.
And then caulking around the base should finish you up.
Well, I guess they should have all that stuff here to Chris and Dick's.
Should have. Them two guys know how to stock hardware.
Oh, you know them?
Oh, yeah, sure. They're around here all the time. Oh, look. There's one of them now.
Well, who is it? It's Chris?
No, Stick.
The guy with the beard, Stick?
No, the guy in the Oshkosh overhaul, Stick. The guy with the beard ain't nobody.
Hey, LeGrand, look.
What?
Looky, celebrities shop here to Chris and Dick's. Look over there, KSL people. Stick Norris.
It's not him. Oh, but it's Stick's co-worker, KSL people, Bruce Lindsay.
Yeah, Bruce Lindsay. Hey, how come he has a different last name than his dad? Why ain't his last name Norse like his old man's?
the Radio from Hell show on X96. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned that Trump is going to do the State of the Union.
Yeah.
On the 5th, is it?
Next week.
I think it's on the 5th, yeah.
Remember that information that the Deep Voice guy gave you about contacting this station? Because you're going to need it to vote for round 2 of your boner voting. 3 news stories now. These are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior, and you need to decide of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it'll have to defeat the winner of round 1's voting. We did that an hour ago. We'll take both of those winners and put them into boner fight at 9:20. That's the important time. That's when boner of the day is decided. I mean, this is also important, but because we need a winner for round 2. So pick your champion now. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive
tickets to Disney on Ice.
Here's boner candidate number 1. Well, that drug company used very aggressive sales techniques. Sunrise Lee. What's her name? A former Insys Therapeutics Incorporated regional sales director.
Sounds important.
I wonder if your husband ever ran it. He kind of works in that world a little bit sometimes.
I don't know.
Regional sales director for Insys Therapeutics Incorporated. She was hired by Insys to be their regional sales director. She's an ex-stripper, and she was hired to help sell their highly addictive fentanyl spray.
Well.
And she employed all of her talents out in the field as regional sales director.
All of her talents?
Yes. A former Insys Therapeutics sales rep told jurors that she was present when her boss, former exotic dancer Sunrise Lee, gave a doctor a lap dance in a Chicago nightclub. Holly Brown testified that she was on the dance floor at the Underground when she looked over and saw Sunrise Lee, then an Insys regional sales director, giving Dr. Paul Madison the hard sell. So,
what are you doing over there?
Sunrise Lee was sitting on his lap, kind of bouncing around. He had his hands on her chest, sort of inappropriately. During Ms. Brown's testimony Tuesday, she described Sunrise Lee's sales pitches as sexually suggestive and said they involved a lot of cleavage. She described the lap dance as disappointing and certainly something I, as an employee, was not willing to engage in. At the time, Ms. Madison was running what Brown described as a shady pill mill.
I'm shady pill mill.
According to an email shown to the jury in a Boston federal court. The pain management specialist and anesthesiologist was also paid at least $70,800 in bribes, disguised as, quote, speaker fees from Insys for prescribing the company's fentanyl-based Subsys spray. Madison, whose medical license was suspended for unprofessional conduct and distribution of controlled substances for non-therapeutic purposes, was convicted last month in an unrelated $3.5 million insurance fraud scheme. Sunrise Lee and 3 other former Insys executives are standing trial with company founder John Kapoor on racketeering charges. So that's what you do. You know, if you're a drug company and you want to sell your stuff, you hire an ex-stripper to be your regional sales director. That drug company used very aggressive sales techniques. Boner candidate number 1.
And really, you didn't need to, a lap dance. I mean, it's fentanyl, free samples.
Yeah, doesn't that sell itself?
Yeah, free samples would do it, I think.
You got to prime the pump, though.
Well, it's a
so
spray.
To speak. Well, you prime the pump to sell it first. Boner candidate number 2. That was a good plan. A career crook robbed a bank in Wisconsin right after he had completed a 20-year prison stint in New Jersey, because what he wanted was to get locked up again.
Why'd you want that?
Because it's what he was used to.
Oh.
Just 6 months after getting out of a Jersey slammer for attempted homicide.
There he is.
Manhattan native, x96.com/live. Manhattan native William Gallagher, who is 68, robbed Milwaukee Chase Bank with the sole motivation of going back to prison. About 48 years ago, I'm sitting with a 72-year-old con. He had just been in about every prison in the country. He did 2 stints in Wisconsin, Mr. Gallagher said during a plea hearing in which he likened himself to a character from the classic prison movie Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Which character? Yeah.
And he said it was the best food, the best commissary, this and that and everything, according to the
These are my
attraction.
people.
Adding to the attraction is the health care offered, which rivals the health care throughout the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Mr. Gallagher said, they took the cancer out of my back. They found 3 lymph nodes in my stomach and a nodule on my lung. Things are going pretty good, and then everything just fell apart when they released me. He made it crystal clear he just wanted to get caught. He said, please call the police, after he demanded $100 in cash and bills. He said, I got a bomb.
He couldn't even open his eyes for the mugshot.
I don't feel well.
He looks like that little boy puppet from Pee Wee Herman. Could it be that the prisons are no longer about reforming you? Is part of the problem?
I don't know. He's been
Three-
there for
three
20
hots
years.
and a cot?
Yeah.
He's been there for 20 years.
That's
He said,
where he's
I just-
comfortable.
I just don't know how to live out here.
Actually, the more you talk
feel
about this,
bad
this
for
is
him.
sad.
Yeah. I feel bad for him.
That's it.
Boner candidate number 2. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. And then I fainted again.
Boner candidate number 3 for round 2 coming up after this. Big Boy News and Opinioendo. Brought to you by
Dr. Volt's Comic Connection. They have everything you're looking for this holiday season. Valentine's.
Sure.
Huh?
Sure.
So
What?
you buy comics for Valentine's Day.
Absolutely.
Comic, anime, cards, games, even action figures. Dr. Volt's, 2043 East 33rd South in Salt Lake.
All right.
Ariana Grande wanted to celebrate her new hit single, 7 Rings. So she got a palm tattoo. That is a tattoo on the palm of her hand.
Mm-hmm.
That she wanted it to say 7 rings in I guess Chinese characters, and then she posted a photo of it, and what it says is barbecue.
Which is a fine tattoo.
If you like barbecue.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, it's on the palm.
Oh, it's Japanese.
It's on the palm of
her hand. It says barbecue, not 7 rings.
That's where you eat barbecue.
Ariana Grande responded to one fan's heads up. Indeed, I left out a certain symbol which should have gone between the other 2. It hurt like F. Still looks tight, which I think she means it still looks pretty good anyway. I wouldn't have lasted one more symbol anyway. But this spot
That's
also...
got to be a painful place.
She says, well, it peels a lot, and so the where she's got it there, you put a tattoo there, it peels a lot, and it fades really fast.
Yeah, it will.
She says it'll be gone pretty soon. It's pretty dumb.
So it was a bad idea all the way around.
Well,
then.
no, she knew it would go away pretty fast ananyway. But,
Do you have that other tattoo story I sent you?
yeah, but I'm going to do it tomorrow probably. So a 20-year-old woman here in Utah is charged with 2 counts of child abuse after video footage revealed her kicking, shaking, hitting, and covering the noses and mouths of 5-month-old twin girls that she was looking after while their parents were at work. McKenna Newell, charged with 2 counts of child abuse, 2nd-degree felony. The charges came after her employer, the father of 2 5-month-old twin girls, found video footage of it and shared it with the police. Ms. Newell in court said she was frustrated with the kids crying, didn't know what to do. She says, I feel bad and embarrassed about it. Okay.
I got caught.
Bad and embarrassed.
Yeah.
It was a terrifying morning in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, Tuesday. Children jumping from a burning apartment building.
Oh, jeez.
Call came just after 2 a.m. Smoke and flames shooting out of the building when firefighters arrived. 2 kids trapped on the 2nd floor. The only way out, jump. Randy Kreitzer was visiting friends. He was down below, and he helped catch the children as they jumped out of the window.
Which is also dangerous.
We kicked the floor in, Kreitzer told WNEP. Black smoke from the bottom of the door pushed us back. We couldn't get up the stairs. The only option, the kids had to jump. And Mr. Kreitzer helped catch them and get them to safety. Asked if he thought he was a hero, Mr. Kreitzer said, nope, not a hero. I'm just a good Samaritan. I'd do it for anybody. Kreitzer said the rescue was like a miracle, and the kids rescued are God's children. The building was Sandy DeBalco's home. She moved in only a month and a half ago. She tried to let the other tenants know the building was burning. I was screaming fire. I ran around to the side. The kids were up in the top. We were screaming. My friend caught them, had them jump out and caught them. Both the kids are okay. So this is an interesting story. I got to click on that. Saw it in the Salt Lake Tribune this morning. It's about a transgender woman who is a former stake president in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and an architect who designed LDS temples. A state lawmaker, is proposing a measure that would prevent Utahns from changing the sex designated on their birth certificates.
Because that's never hurt anyone.
Such a move would set a dangerous precedent, said Laurie Lee Hall, a former stake president and temple architect who was excommunicated from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for living as a transgender woman. It would ultimately wind up, without any hyperbole at all, erasing transgender people from existence.
Exactly,
said Laurie Lee Hall. Hall, who was on this week's Mormonland podcast.
And Richie's podcast, too.
Is it on yours, too? She's on yours? Notes that she has no issue with the Mormon faith's so-called family proclamation, which declares that gender is an essential characteristic of individual premortal, mortal, and eternal identity and purpose. She relates to it. After all, Hall says she's always been and forever will be a woman. But I don't seem to relate to that in the way that most in the church interpreted it, she says. What they're really thinking, I think, when they read that is that biological sex determines who you are. And at the end of the day, you will always be whatever your biological sex was. Hall shares her thoughts on the proposed bill, President Dallin H. Oaks' October sermon on gender issues and more on the Cultural Hall podcast.
Yeah. I don't know why this guy is pushing for this change for the birth certificates. It's not hurting anybody. He's just being a dick.
Yeah, think about that. That's an interesting thing that Laurie Hall says. It's not your physical attributes that determine what your gender is. It's, Laurie Hall said, I've always been a woman, and that wasn't my genitals that determined that. I've always been a woman.
Yeah.
I had different genitals at one time, but that wasn't my gender. Sarah Sanders says that Donald Trump is the president for one reason and one reason only. God wanted him to be.
God wanted him to be.
So how do you argue with that?
Well, there's...
how about...
Oh, no, how do you... I think God calls all of us to fill different roles at different times, and I think that he wanted Donald Trump to become president. That's why he's there, and I think he's done a tremendous job in supporting a lot of the things that people of faith really care about.
Okay, wait.
So that's why she's been able to lie about...
Does that mean God wanted Barack Obama to be president?
Not necessarily.
Does that mean God wanted
Not necessarily.
Bill Clinton to be
Does that mean
president?
that God wanted Nancy Pelosi to be Speaker of the House?
Not necessarily. She didn't say that.
Does that explain why Hillary got 3 million more votes than Trump?
That's not... No, as a matter of fact, no. Absolutely not. Hillary got 3 million more votes, but she didn't become president. Why? Because God did not want her to be. That's simple. You just bolstered Sarah Huckabee Sanders' argument, Carrie. God wanted him to be.
Your God is wrong.
The city of Baltimore is going to stop prosecuting marijuana possession cases.
Oh, really? That's good.
Yeah, the top prosecutor there, Marilyn Mosby, announced Tuesday the state's attorney office will no longer prosecute marijuana possession cases within the city limits because you know why?
Why?
There are too many. The city will seek to vacate nearly 5,000 prior marijuana convictions handed down over the past 8 years. Mosby said her office will focus its efforts elsewhere because prosecuting these cases has no public safety value. It disproportionately impacts communities of color and erodes public trust and is a costly and counterproductive use of limited resources.
I agree.
Not going to do it anymore.
All right. Sports weather traffic.
Brought to you by, have you been to Moochie's lately? They're cooking up something new for you besides their famous authentic Philly cheesesteak. Try the new Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. Differently delicious. We'll just forget that the Jazz got blown out in Portland last night. We'll look ahead to tomorrow when they will be home in the loving arms of the Vivint Smart Home Arena crowd. That game is at 7 p.m.
You know, I haven't been to Moochie's lately enough.
Well, you can go. They have that new location.
I'm
Bill.
going today.
Weather brought to you by Dr. Volt's Wonder Twins powers activate. Come to Dr. Volt's this month for new Conan and Wonder Twins comic series. Dr. Volt's, Utah's comic connection.
Yes, Ed. Conan and the Wonder Twins.
All together. The weather is it's 42.
He can retire.
42 and bad air still. So don't drive if and you can help it at all. Traffic is just nasty northbound I-15 from Point of the Mountain all the way up into Murray. Crash northbound I-15 27th south. Crash northbound I-15 26th south. I guess those are two actually separate incidents going on there. We've got a crash southbound I-15 at the I-15-215 junction in Davis County. Crash northbound I-15 75th south. See what I'm talking about, northbound I-15?
Mm-hmm.
Southbound I-15 142nd south, a vehicle fire there. So lots of issues for people there. That's traffic.
All right.
Here is boner candidate number 3. And then I fainted again. For an otherwise healthy 39-year-old, Matt Gleason fainted when he got a flu shot. It's unusual.
Yeah.
But he did. He then received his bill. He had to go to the emergency room. You know, he got a flu shot. He just keeled over for some reason. So he went to the emergency room, and then when he received the bill, he got a bill for $4,700. And then he fainted again.
Not bad.
Boner candidate number 3. That's it.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
4,000. One trip to the emergency room. There was nothing seriously wrong. He just fainted.
But Mr. Hannity says this is the greatest healthcare system in the world. All right. Let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1. Hey, that drug company used very aggressive sales techniques. They hired a stripper to be their regional sales manager so that she could give lap dances to doctors to convince them to use their new fentanyl spray. Boner candidate number 2, it was a good plan. A freed crook immediately robbed a bank when he got out of prison. He'd been there for 20 years. He immediately robbed a bank so that he could go back to prison. Somebody in the chat room said that their dad had been in prison for 30 years and was back within a year. And boner candidate number 3, and then I fainted again.
All right, you've got to decide which of these 3 is the worst, which of these 3 deserves to go forward to Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day. If it wins here, it'll have to defeat the winner of round 1's voting. We'll throw both of the candidates into Boner Dome at 9:20. That's when you will decide Boner of the Day. So pick your champion for round 2 now. 1, 2, or 3. Remember the candidate number, the one you think should win. Put that number, that single digit, in the message of a text. Then text that to 33986. Or you can call 877-602-9696. Or go to x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Voting January 31 and vote there. You've got less than 300 seconds to do it, though. This is round 2. Boner Vote.
When Carrie, Bill, and Gina run out of things to bitch about, we give you a 1-hour nonstop music wingding at 10 a.m. on X96.
Spell it with me now, S-E-N-I-O-R, senior. And now we'll use it in some dialogue featuring our 2 Utah friends, Elder LeGrand R. Dunn Jr. and his trailer-dwelling pal, LeVar.
Imagine, if you will, LeVar and LeGrand enjoying a lazy Saturday afternoon of TV watching in LeVar's trailer home at the Restful View Mobile Home Park. Again, the word is senior. Yeah, sure is fun sitting around on a lazy day watching reruns ahead of the class with you, LeGrand. Glad you could come over.
Well, I had to get out of the house. I mean, for heck's sakes, Midge had a list of honey-do's for me as long as that hair on her mother's chin. I snuck out before she could put me to work.
You don't mind if I drink me some beer while Head to the Class is on, do you, LeGrand?
I've long ago given up trying to change your sinful ways, LeVar. You know I think that drinking beer is wrong, but I'm not going to say anything more about it.
Hey, what happened to the rest of the beer in this can I was working on? I know I didn't finish it.
I don't know. You must have drunk it. I'll get you another can of beer from the Frigidaire.
Head of the Class. This is a really funny show. Reminds me of our school days, LeGrand.
Oh.
You remember? Me out in the parking lot and you over to the seminary building. We had some choice times, didn't we?
Sure did. I'm proud to say I got my high school diploma and my seminary diploma. I don't believe you managed either one, did you?
Never mind. Boy, that redhead on Head of the Class sure reminds me of my old high school sweetheart. Hey, you remember Franny Hayes? God, I sure loved her.
I seen your old flame a couple of days ago, by the way. I seen your Franny Hayes at the Quick Stop. What happened between you two?
I dumped her. She got pregnant, so I dumped her. Got pregnant right here in this here trailer. How's she doing? She's probably got like 20 kids and not a pot to piss in, right?
Married a rich guy. She was driving a fancy Lexi or a Affinity or something like that, covered in diamonds. She looked good.
I don't care. I don't care for her no more.
Oh, come on, LeVar. You care. I seen your face fall when I told you. I seen your emotions fly to the surface.
Shut up and pass me another beer. Hey, you know what? This Alpo don't taste half bad when it's fried up like this.
fun, innocent family show. Radio from Hell on Utah's original alternative X96.
All right, if you like the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, stay tuned. Right after we award the boner, we interviewed one of the stars of Bohemian Rhapsody. After this, let's award boner round 2.
And it is brought to you in part by, mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. You had both.
Well, yeah, I didn't just have mac.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want just mac.
Disney on Ice presents Dare to Dream, coming to the Vivint Smart Home Arena March 7th through the 10th. Tickets are available at all Ticketmaster locations and Ticketmaster.com.
Boner candidate number 1, that drug company is really very aggressive sales techniques. They hired a stripper. It was a pretty good idea, actually. You hire a stripper to be your regional sales manager, and then you can give the lap dance when needed to convince doctors to use your stuff. Boner candidate number 2, that was a good plan. You rob a bank when you get out of prison so that you can go back to prison because that's where you're comfortable. And boner candidate number 3, and then I fainted again when I got the bill that I was rushed to the emergency room because I fainted, and then I got a bill for the emergency and I fainted again. Travis Shimmer won the Disney on Ice tickets, and the winner, boner candidate number 1, that drug company uses very aggressive technique.
All right, there you go. That is the winner of round 2's voting. It now goes to Boner Fight to face off against the winner of round 1. Both of those candidates will duke it out at 9:20. That's when Boner of the Day is decided by you. All right, name of the movie is Top End Wedding. And the lead guy in this movie played Brian May in the movie Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
And I didn't recognize him because he didn't have the curly wig on.
Because that's how you play Brian.
And I didn't see the Queen movie. So.
Oh, you should still see it.
All right.
Or you should see this one. Top End
Both.
Wedding.
See both. Here we go.
All right, here we are. This is a Sundance film called Top End Wedding. It's a premiere. It's a narrative film. Yeah. And the director is with us, Wayne Blair. He's a little bit woozy because he just got off a 40-hour. I remember Carrie and I flew to Australia.
Oh, that was brutal.
And we flew back.
Yeah. You're not still there?
No, was brutal flight, but although we did get to fly kind of first class, so that makes it better.
Oh, that's good.
You didn't, Wayne?
Premium economy, but that's okay.
That's pretty
okay.
good.
Yeah.
And also, 2 of the actors in the film are with us. Gwillem is with us and Miranda. Top End Wedding. We'll start with Wayne because he's the director. Tell us about Top End Wedding.
It's a film set now. It's the story of a young girl's journey of self-discovery of who she is, and she does it with the love of her life.
That would be Miranda. It's her journey, and the love of her life is this guy here.
And so she takes us up to, or they take us up to the Northern Territory. They were about to get married, and they have 10 days to find their mother, her mother.
Her mother. Okay.
Yeah. So that's where we start.
Why is her mother missing somewhere in the Northern Territory?
You gotta come and watch the film.
So I mean, you can't tell us even why her mother is missing without giving too much away.
So at the heart of this film is
a little closer to the mic.
So at the heart of this film is essentially about an Indigenous woman understanding who her community is and why it is so important to be with them, because. And you'll find out in the film that being with them ultimately strengthens everything else in her life, her work life, her personal life, everything else.
So you are an Indigenous woman in the film, but who lives in polite society and lives in polite society in Australia.
Yes, that's correct.
But your mother does not.
So essentially, like. That's what's so great. We get to show the most beautiful parts of the Northern Territory in Australia. So it's very much savanna wetlands.
Is it wilder? Is it wild?
Yes, yeah. Very very empty, very open.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not empty, but yeah, just lots of space.
Yeah.
Anyway, the reason why we wanted to make this film was we wanted to show how beautiful the territory is, and we did that by having the bride and groom to be traipse around the Northern Territory to look for the mother.
I would imagine this tests Gwillim's characters. It tests his perceptions of everything.
And I play a British character in it, and it's useful coming from that perspective because I'm seeing things for the first time. I think that's quite useful as a device for the audience also to look at the Northern Territory through an outsider's eyes. Like I'm kind of taking it all in, lapping it all up for the first time, and yet this is your home. You know, this is the Lauren, the lead character. That's her. These are her roots and her heritage. You know.
Wayne, what is it like up there in the Northern Territory?
I love it. We shot in a place called Darwin, on the Tiwi Islands in Kakadu, and it's just magical.
Jeez, I love just even hearing you say that. Say it again.
You know, you're
Darwin,
the Tiwi Islands in Kakadu. I mean, yeah, Kakadu sort of has a great ring to it, but it's just gorgeous country. Some of it's really untouched, and you take a couple of cameras out in that space, and all you have to do is point and shoot. You know, so it's so beautiful. It's very warm. It's hot, so it's quite the opposite to where we are today. But we were blessed to a certain degree. You know, we were blessed shooting up in those areas. But it's gorgeous.
What do the people who live there do? What are they?
Oh, Darwin's sort of it's a city. It's a city like any city, like Salt Lake City,
named for Charles Darwin.
Yes, I believe so.
I think it is.
Yeah. Although he's never been there.
Yeah, but I think it is.
Luck out with that.
There is a weird tradition of that, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's where I that's where I grew up. That's my actual hometown.
You, Miranda.
For real?
Yes, and I co-wrote the film with my friend Josh Tyler because he had been up there, and it was really unusual to meet someone who had loved the territory so much upon visiting it. So to sort of make a very loose comparison, I guess you could kind of describe it almost like Mississippi. So we are almost like the mirror opposite to America.
gotcha.
So the more north you go, the warmer it gets.
Gotcha.
And I guess it's our version of all the southern states like Miami and Mississippi and places like that. So that's essentially what the climate's like. You know, and a lot of people talk about. A lot of fellow Australians sort of like to say, you know, I really want to go up there, but it's just so expensive. I could go to Bali. It's just right there. And I could just sit on the beach and drink a cocktail, which sounds very appealing. But I guess a lot of people don't get to see that part of the world, even the people that live in that country.
One of the reasons you wanted to make the film is you wanted to shine a light on it and say, look, you got to come here.
Yeah, look how pretty it is. Come see it.
And no one shot a feature film on the Tiwi Islands. I mean, Baz in Australia with Nicole and Hugh, there's that war sequence where Darwin did get bombed in World War II. And so you sort of, it's represented, but nothing as real as Top End Wedding.
Top End Wedding. The title. Is it like top shelf? It means we're having a. Well, I don't know. Explain the title.
No, it's so interesting you say that because it does have that double meaning, but also that is the colloquial term for the territory because it is at the
top end of
the top end of the country. So.
East Coast, Midwest. You know.
End. And it's a lot of people tend to. The local newspaper tends to talk about like the latest, the latest crocodile attack, or that two locals are fighting over custody of a three-legged dog, and so it is known for its. It is known for it being very hillbilly.
Hillbilly,
I guess,
and it's quaint up there. It's very quaint.
And so people go, "Oh, Darwin," so they get really nasal.
It's kind of backward up there.
Yeah, that's how they. And so, but that's not the Darwin
you don't
I knew.
You don't seem very backward at all.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's what's so beautiful about Darwin. That it's very multicultural. You've got to love your camping and your hiking and all of that sort of stuff.
Fishing.
So. As long as you love that sort of stuff, you'll thrive up there.
You're passionate about the place.
I am.
And Gwilym, have you ever been up there before?
I'd never been. No, I'd been to Australia before. I went to Western Australia and to Sydney, but never to the Northern Territory.
And it was probably very useful for you to have not been there.
Exactly, the character hadn't been there. So literally, I remember one scene. We were given great privilege to have access to parts of the country that nobody gets to see because they're traditionally owned parts of the country. So the traditional owners gave us access to parts of Kakadu National Park, for instance, which
only native people get to go there.
Exactly. So we shot this scene where we were driving in a 4x4 into these open plains, and you come around the corner from these big kind of rock formations, and then this vista just opens up with like the breeze blowing through the long grass, and it's overwhelming. Like, we both teared up, actually. It's quite an emotional experience being on that land, And so you put the camera on our faces and kind of see our reaction to this landscape, and, there's no acting required, really. It's quite overwhelming.
Made your job a little easier, Wayne Blair, huh?
Yeah, it did. It was, we all were there together, and you sort of, it's like a little camping trip. You got a couple of cameras, though, and you're sort of going out to these places and let's tell a story, and that was what we sort of did.
Yep. Yeah. It's called Top End Wedding, Sundance premiere, director Wayne Blair, two of the actors and the writer of the movie, Miranda. It's Gwilym, Miranda.
Just a sec, Gina. Do you recognize Gwilym? You should recognize Gwilym.
Don't put me on the spot like that.
Gary likes to look people's...
He was Brian May.
Right. I thought it was my school play in 1997.
Brian May.
In Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, it's Brian May.
I'm nothing without the wig.
I was going to say it's the hair.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's also an astrophysicist.
Sorry about that.
Thank you guys for being with us.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's nothing but delightful accents there. 8:57 KXRK Provo. We'll be back. GetQuip.com/X96 is the website. My wife has thrown out our other big, bulky, expensive electric toothbrushes because I guess we're a Quip family now. She just pretty much made it happen. She likes it even more than I do, and I like it a lot. Very sensitive sonic vibrations. I think that those other ones were too aggressive. I think they were taking the enamel off my teeth. That's why I like Quip, an effective clean that's gentle on your sensitive gums. It pulses every 30 seconds to remind you to switch sides, and it helps you clean your mouth evenly, and because you need to get that full 2 minutes or you don't get full or even clean. One of the many reasons why I love my Quip electric toothbrush and why over 1 million happy, healthy mouths do as well. Quip starts at just $25. If you go to getquip.com/X96 right now, you can get your first refill pack for free. That's the brush heads. They send them to you every 3 months. That's your first refill pack for free at getquip.com/X96. Be sure to do the /X96 so that you get the deal and that we get the credit.
And now, here's another unromantic moment in Valentine's history.
Oh, Debbie, you're so hot.
Rejected a warning by top Arizona utility officials that Arizona's going to cut off power to L.A.
Yeah, this could be a boner.
To Los Angeles, if the city proceeds with its boycott of all things Arizona. The mayor, on Wednesday, defiantly rejected a warning by top Arizona utilities officials that the state could cut off power to Los Angeles should the city proceed with its boycott. Spokesman Dave Beltran told Fox News that the message didn't even warrant a response. We're not going to respond to threats from a state that has isolated itself from America that values freedom, liberty, and basic human rights, Beltran said. That was after Gary Pierce, a commissioner of the 5-member Arizona Corporation Commission, wrote a letter to Villagarosa. I can't say his name. It's Villaragosa.
Just mangle it.
Slamming his city council's decision to boycott the Grand Canyon State in protest of its immigration law by suspending official travel there and ending future contracts with state businesses. Noting that a quarter of Los Angeles' electricity comes from Arizona power plants, Pierce threatened to pull the plug if the city council does not reconsider. Doggone it! If you're going to boycott this candy store, then don't come in for any of it, Pierce told Fox News. Well, I'm sure that they'll do that. I am sure that Arizona, as a matter of fact, if I were California, I'd say, go ahead. Go ahead.
Shut it off.
Go ahead. Put up or shut up.
You already look bad, Arizona. Do that and look worse.
They're not going to do it, is the point.
No.
They would never do it. They can't do it. We're going to cut off your power. Uh-huh. Okay, fine. Do it.
And Gina on X96.
And now, another potty break dedication.
This dedication is for my dear friend Hattie. I have to tell her about this thing I saw. It had 2 big horns and a woolly jaw. Hattie once told me not to take no chance. She's the kind of friend that would always make sure that we weren't being L7, as she liked to put it, and convince me to come and learn to dance. So remember, Hattie, it's all in the thing you do. I really hope one day you find someone to pull the wool with you.
Signed?
Your friend Maddie.
Okay, so I'm going to play Public Image Limited, Seattle.
Oh.
How,
I really hope one day.
Oh, okay.
I really hope one day you find someone to pull the wool with you. Perhaps you'll find that person, Hattie, in Seattle? Question mark.
That's terrible.
Well, you'll have to excuse me because I have to use the bathroom.
On this day, John Lydon was born. Lead singer of Sex Pistols and Public Image Limited.
Yeah.
All right. You had some pictures?
I do. First of all, remember I was talking earlier in the week about my son, Low Bill. He was going to be in this show, Cluster Flock is the name of the group. And it was a show of sideshow kind of freaks and geeks, and it was last night. Now, I didn't go to it, but it's a very...
But your kid had a thing.
Sideshow performers, and he made his own costume. Do the costume, just the full-length costume shot first, Dylan. This is the costume he made. He sewed all of that himself.
Describe it to people.
He designed it and then sewed it. It's a clown costume, essentially. It's stripes and various stripes. He made the bow tie. It's a big kind of tiger stripe bow tie, and then, what do you say, barbershop pole stripe leggings, and a vest, and a big floppy bow tie.
Does the bow tie squirt blood or anything?
No. That's a good idea, though. He'll do that next time. And then he's wearing a kind of evil clown makeup, and his hair is all styled. And then I did this next picture for you, Gina. Oh, he's holding a hammer. This next picture, one of the parts of his act, he eats a light bulb, but he also hammers a nail into his nose.
Oh, my God.
And there he is, just beginning to hammer the
x96.com/live.
Hammer a nail into his.
If you want to see these
nasal cavity, there. That's
How
part
do
of his
you
act.
feel about that? Watching your son hammer a nail into his nose.
You get used to it.
You get.
And then he also eats a light bulb and does other things as part of the act.
You get used to it.
Yeah. I don't watch it very often. I've seen him do it once or twice. But,
I couldn't.
So there's that. And then the other thing, it's becoming a tradition. Well, now it's happened twice. Ladies Who Lunch with Bill. I really enjoyed this.
It's an event?
It's becoming an event. I hope we do it again next month. This is the second time. I went to lunch this week with these ladies. Now, if you go to x96.com/live, you'll see there's Heather Armstrong on the far left, Dina Marie Manzanares, Kat Palmer, and that's me, and Ivy from Booze-Teak. And we went to Mazza, and next time we do it, I'll mention when we're doing it, and if somebody wants to show up, they can. But it's just
only ladies.
Only ladies allowed. If it's a guy who shows up, we'll say go away. And it's really interesting for me to do this.
What sort of things do you talk about?
Well, we talked a lot about. Most we talked about kids going to school and homework. And they all agree, and we've talked about this on the show before, and you don't agree, but they all agree homework is crap.
Yeah,
doing homework is crap.
It's crap because parents don't like hounding their kids to do it.
No, but it's not good. It does absolutely nothing for the kid. I
disagree.
They disagree with you.
This is why I'm not invited to this.
They disagree with you. Well, you should come. Well, I'll ask them if you're invited, if you're allowed. But they all agree that you should do your work at school, and then when you come home, it's a time to relax and do stuff with the family. That's what you should do at home.
You should have time for that. You shouldn't have too much homework, but a little homework is not
no purpose in it at all. You should do your stuff at school, and when you go home, relax. But we talk about that kind of. I listen a lot to what they have to say, and then sometimes I'll say, okay, now let me tell you what I think, and then they say, oh, that's fine, Bill, nice. No. It's really fun though. I like doing it a lot because I'd rather hang out with women than guys for the most part. Don't you agree, Carrie?
Oh, yeah.
For the most part?
Yeah.
They're more interesting. Women are way more interesting.
Smarter than us.
And Kat Palmer she's like from another planet sometimes, I think.
In what way?
I don't know. Probably shouldn't go into it.
Well, no, I'm curious now.
Well, she has all kinds of... She lives outside the law sometimes, I think. The laws of society. Convention. She lives outside of the laws of conventional society. She's a really talented photographer, though. If you go to Instagram and just look for Kat Palmer, you'll find all kinds of very interesting photographs that she takes. And Ivy, our friend from Booze-Teak, she does, in fact, know every single person.
Yes, she does.
Yes.
You cannot bring up a person. She's going to Los Angeles next month, and she has a booth at RuPaul's. RuPaul's doing some big like trade show, and she's going to sell things at RuPaul, who does the drag show, at this trade show that RuPaul is doing, and she's got a booth there.
Oh.
And she's going to sell flasks and stuff.
Cool. All right, we got just enough news coming up after these messages, and then it's Boner Fight. Stand by for that. Gina, if you would, please.
If I would, please tell you about the best DJ in Utah. You know who that is. It's Richie T.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Now, why is he the best DJ in Utah? Because you will hire him for your event. It's usually a wedding, but not always. People are booking for weddings right now. You'll meet with him for an hour consultation. You'll go over your event. He'll help you think of things maybe you didn't think of. You know, are you guys going to cut the cake and the first dance and everything? What song do you want for the first dance? He will plot it all out for you.
Just want to do square dancing. Can we just do square dancing?
Yes, he can do that. He can do dance instruction. A lot of times when people get married, they want to take a little dance lesson so they know what they're doing when they do the first dance or the father-daughter dance, that kind of thing. BestDJInUtah.com. He's the highest rated DJ in the state. You can find him at bestdjinutah.com or at Richie T. Stedman on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Here at X96, we're not going to pretend that we're the smartest people in the room or the world. I mean, come on.
There's a great a little video that I tweeted early this morning at RFH Bill.
Well, let me go look.
It's a little video of some mayor somewhere in Wisconsin, I think.
Yeah.
He's doing his Groundhog's Day thing with
Like you
Jimmy
do.
the Groundhog.
Jimmy, that's
Sun
not a
Prairie-
groundhog name. It's not.
Why is Jimmy not a ground? Phil is a groundhog name.
Sure.
Why is Jimmy not a groundhog
Jimmy's
name? It's fine. If
Awfully defensive
Princess
about Jimmy.
Good God, Gina, you derail the story.
Jimmy, that's not a ground.
Why does Carrie Fisher call her dog Gary? It's fine. Anyway, Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, Jimmy the Groundhog, and the mayor Jonathan Freund is and he's an idiot. And I love the way they wrote this story on what is it, Gawker or Newsfeed? It's called Gawker's Newsfeed. Yeah. Low-rent Punxsutawney Phil impersonator Jimmy the Groundhog has the annual task of predicting each February whether Sun Prairie, Wisconsin will experience 6 more weeks of winter. This year, the job got to him a little bit as he whispered his prognostication into Mayor Jonathan Freund's ear. The weather will be, got your ear, sucker! I'm biting your damn ear off. How do you like me now?
He gets a hold of it, too.
Yeah, he does.
He gets a good chomp in there.
Yeah. You watch the
He keeps
little
going.
video.
The mayor keeps going, though. He doesn't stop.
Yeah, flinching from the savage attack on his soundy flaps, Freund attempted to translate the bite from groundhog to English. He didn't see his shadow, the shaken mayor stammered, so it will be in early spring. Jimmy's handler is obviously concerned about the integrity of the little biter's predictive record, later clarified that he had actually been attempting to indicate that winter would last another 6 weeks. It is Wisconsin, after all.
So the mayor got it wrong altogether.
Yeah. The mayor's office responded that only the mayor can translate Jimmy's prediction, the Milwaukee Sentinel-Journal reports. But it's a funny video. Watch the little
My
video.
question is, what kind of a mayor name is Jonathan? I mean, really?
It's a fine
that's
mayor
a terrible
name.
mayor
That's
name.
a fine mayor name.
No, that's a terrible name.
Jimmy is not a good name for a groundhog. Jimmy's a nice guy. Groundhogs are mean.
Gino, why don't you just shut up?
A texter points out Jimmy the Groundhog was part of the Gambino family.
Exactly.
That's your confusion. So
What?
Jimmy
Getting
is a
awfully
perfectly
defensive.
fine name for a groundhog. Who died and made you the namer of all things?
I'm not the namer of all things.
You sure act like it. No, Val Kilmer is not dead.
Yet.
And what kind of a name is Val for a Kilmer?
Exactly.
The Kilmers never named their children Val. What's wrong with them?
96 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
Bill, people are suggesting you morph Ladies Who Lunch into Let's Go Eat Show. There's a natural thing there, maybe. You should think about.
Maybe.
I don't know. I think you enjoy it too much to turn it into a work project.
Yeah, kind of. I thought about doing something.
They're interesting women, though.
They are.
They are.
They are very interesting.
It's just a thought.
Yeah, I have sort of kicked that around, but I don't know.
All right. We have Boner Fight coming up in about 5 minutes. So before that, a reasonable amount of news brought to you by.
Have you been to Moochie's lately? They're cooking up something new for you besides their famous authentic Philly cheesesteak. Try the new Philly cheesesteak egg rolls, differently delicious.
I just saw this article from Slate.com, and it's pretty interesting. Now, I'm not that familiar with Richard E. Grant, the actor, but apparently there are people who've been a long time fans of him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the article is it says it's called and now a ranking of the weirdest things on Richard E. Grant's sublime Wikipedia page. When the Carpetbagger hung out with Richard Grant, I guess that's a website, in December, the column made references to his Wikipedia page but didn't linger on it. So here are some of the things Slate has found on his Wikipedia page.
All right.
This paragraph. While filming L.A. Story with Steve Martin, the pair communicated by fax in what became for both a hilarious dialogue. Quote, I kept these faxes, which grew to a stack of more than 2 inches thick, because they entertained me and because I thought that they were valuable aesthetic chunks from a screeching mind, a stream of consciousness faucet, spewing sentences, sometimes a mile long, none of it rewritten, and bearing just the right amount of acid and alkaline. This. In April 2014, Grant launched his new unisex perfume, Jack, exclusively at Liberty of Regent Street in London. That's kind of odd. This. Grant is a teetotaler. These are all on his Wikipedia page. He is intolerant to alcohol, having no enzymes in the blood to metabolize it.
Whoa.
If he does drink alcohol, he can keep it down for 10 minutes and is then violently sick for 24 hours afterward.
Well, don't do that then.
This. On 1 December 2006, Grant turned real-life investigator when, with the help of the BBC's Newsnight, he exposed a $98 million scam to sell a bogus AIDS cure. That's interesting, isn't it? How about this? For the last infraction, that scam, Grant was eventually forced to meet with the King of Swaziland to seek clemency.
He was born in Swaziland.
Oh, was he? That's interesting.
Oh.
When Grant was 10, he witnessed his mother commit adultery on the backseat of a car with his father's best friend, which subsequently led to his parents' divorce.
That will mess you up.
See,
These are all on his Wikipedia page.
The only trivia I had about him was that he was in Hudson Hawk. That's all.
That's barely any
This
trivia.
is barely trivia. This is great.
He's in the upcoming Star Wars movie, Carrie.
Yes, he is.
Richard E. Grant. He's been around forever, apparently, and I barely even know who he is. This from Boner's past, Boner Candidate's past. You remember? I think it was this week. The New Jersey Girl Scout leader who said that over $1,000 was stolen from the Girl Scout cookie outside the mall in New Jersey. Not true.
What?
She was either mistaken or she stole the money herself.
Oh. Well, that's also a boner then.
Has yet to be determined, though. The money is missing. It might have been accidentally thrown away, or maybe she took it herself. They're not sure, but the people that she claimed stole it have been located and exonerated. It is unclear as to where the money is. She made something up.
I bet she took
the cops are not clear. She might be trying to just cover up negligence, that the money was accidentally thrown away. But she did make the theft story up. And then Kamala Harris.
Yes.
Thousands of people cheered on January 27th when she kicked off her 2020 presidential bid in Oakland, California, her hometown. I'm running for president because I love my country, she told voters. I'm running to be president of the people, by the people, and for all people. Throughout the event, several commentators took note of how many people were present.
A lot.
At the Democratic senator's campaign launch. Estimates put the number at 20,000. As The Guardian noted, if that number is accurate, and as it turned out it is pretty accurate, it would mean that Harris drew an even larger crowd at her presidential campaign than Barack Obama did when he announced his own run for president in Illinois to an estimated 15,000 strong crowd in his hometown. So that's pretty impressive.
I like her a lot.
Yep, me too.
She's smart, and she always comes prepared. Like in all of those hearings, you see she had all the facts straight, and she wasn't afraid to bring them up.
I'm still reserving judgment. I don't know yet.
Well, I mean, I'm not, I'm not saying I'm going to vote for her.
No, it's too early to tell.
Because we don't have a nominee. I'll vote for whoever the Democratic nominee is. I'm not lying. I don't care. It could be a piece of cheese, and I will vote for it.
In the admittedly narrow world of Cheetos fast food mashups, Burger King's Mac and Cheetos and the Taco Bell's Cheeto Quesadillas, they have some new competition. KFC has announced that it is testing a Cheetos sandwich. KFC lovingly describes it this way: made by coating a juicy hand-breaded extra crispy chicken fillet with Cheetos sauce and putting it on a toasted bun with mayo and a layer of crunchy Cheetos. The Cheetos chicken sandwich will give the blast of craveable Cheetos in every bite. I want it now.
I would try it.
There's a picture of it at x96.com/live. It looks like it's a chicken sandwich with crunchy Cheetos on, encased in crunchy Cheetos, and then more Cheetos put on it.
It's Boner Fight with Radio from Hell on X96.
All right, here we go with the winner of round one going up against round two's winner. Way back in the 7 o'clock hour, this was the victor. The deputy was suspicious because my whites were whiter than white and my colors were brighter than bright. A deputy sheriff in Martin County, Florida, said it was heroin that was in the van. No, it wasn't. But a guy spent several weeks in jail because the deputy said it was heroin. What it really was Tide laundry detergent.
A dangerous substance.
Yeah. And that goes against the winner from round one. That drug company used very aggressive sales techniques. They hired an ex-stripper to be their regional sales manager, and that ex-stripper was very persuasive. She gave doctors lap dances to convince them to use the drug company's products. That's number two.
All right, you've got to decide of these two candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go and be Boner of the Day. You've got to decide, 1 or 2. Remember the candidate number that you think should win. Put that number, that single digit, in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. That's one way to vote. Another way is to call 877-602-9696. Parker is taking your votes in the producer's booth. Or you can go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Fight January 31 and vote there. If you don't see that box, refresh. It should appear. You've only got 4.5 minutes to go. Let's do it. This is Boner of the Day.
Spine. Spell it with me now. S-P-I-N-E. Spine. And now we'll use it in some dialogue, featuring our two Utah men, LeVar and LeGrand. Elder LeGrand Ardun Jr. has called his friend LeVar with worries on his mind. Never fails. It's always during my favorite show. Yellow.
LeVar?
Yeah.
It's LeGrand.
LeGrand, how's it going?
I'm a worried man, LeVar. I don't know what to do. It's about Midge.
Well, how is the lovely Mrs. Dunn LeGrand?
Well, Well, LeVar, she ain't herself these days.
What do you mean she ain't herself? Well, who is she then?
Well, she's Midge, but she's not Midge.
Huh?
Well, first off, she's been losing weight, LeVar. She may have knocked off close to 100 pounds. She had to go out and buy a whole new set of moo-moos. And they're designer moo-moos, too. The Don Ho collection.
Well, that is odd, LeGrand.
And she started to wear makeup again.
Huh?
She hasn't worn makeup since we got married, LeVar. A woman with 16 kids doesn't have any place wearing makeup, LeVar.
That is strange.
And it's not even New Skin or Mary Kay, LeVar. It's that kind of makeup that Claudia Schifter wears.
Anything else?
Well, she covered up the I Heart Family Home Evening bumper sticker on the back of the Suburban with one that says, "Mean people suck."
Something is definitely up, LeGrand.
I know. So, I've been kind of trying to track down her whereabouts to see what's up.
You mean you've been spying on Midge?
Well, I wouldn't call it spying exactly. Just keeping tabs, you know, like waiting down the street from the house and then following her car.
Spying. That's what that is, LeGrand. Spying. Well, did you find out anything?
Well, when she said she was going to Relief Society, I followed her, and she ended up at the Deseret Gym. I think she may be working out, LeVar.
Well, mayhaps she's just trying to get in shape and improve her quality of life. Mayhaps she's tired of being as big as a Winnebago.
She's the mother of all my 16 kids, LeVar. She's not supposed to improve her quality of life. Her role as my spiritual partner is to improve my quality of life.
You find out anything else when you was spying on her?
Well, yesterday I caught her waxing her legs and shaving her armpit hair.
The hell you say? We got big trouble, LeGrand. I'm gonna jump in the truck and be right over. That is, if the truck will start. You know, she might be trying to become a feminist or something worse. She hasn't said anything about, taking night classes or the like, has she?
No. What are we gonna do, LeVar?
Well, we're gonna keep spying on her, LeGrand. Let's just hope that we don't find out that she's going to the symphony or the ballet or nothing like that. Tell you what, though, if we do, you pack them kids up in that Suburban and you ski-daddle out of there. All right, 9:36. Time to award Boner of the Day. Is it brought to you by?
Yes, Lisa, 2018 Honda Civic LX CVT from Stockton 12 Honda for just $5 a day. Honda Civics, just $5 a day, only at Stockton 12 Honda in the Southtown Auto Mall.
Okay. Here we go. The boner fight. We already did brought to you by, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. The winner from the day. The first one was the deputy was suspicious because my whites were whiter than white. My brights were brighter than bright. Tide. It was Tide. It was not heroin. It was laundry detergent. That was number one. Number two was that drug company used very aggressive sales techniques. They hired a former stripper to be their regional sales manager. And whenever a doctor was a little reticent to use their product, they'd send in, what was her name? Sunrise Lee. Here's our regional sales manager, Sunrise Lee. Would you care for a lap dance, doctor? Who do you think won? It was close.
I'm going to say the first one?
Yeah.
Nope.
No?
Oh, really?
By 2 votes. That drug company used very aggressive sales techniques. The lap dance sales manager.
All right. That's your Boner of the Day for January 31st, 2019. It is now qualified to be Boner of the Week. That happens tomorrow at about this time.
So I was very excited when I saw this. It's a list, and people love lists.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a particularly great list because I saw it this morning. 24 specialty Oreo flavors that you can buy on Amazon right now.
The S'moreos?
I bet we've tried most of these.
We haven't tried kettle corn.
I think we did.
We did.
We did?
That was
And
one
it
of the
was-
first ones
It
we
was
did.
delicious, yes.
I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Kettle corn Oreos.
Okay, done it.
The most stuff Oreos we just
did. Yep.
tried. Strawberry cream love Oreos. Don't remember that
Maybe
one.
last Valentine's Day.
Mickey Mouse birthday cake.
That's just the birthday cake Oreo with a Mickey Mouse cookie.
Red
so-
velvet.
We did try red
Strawberry
velvet.
shortcake.
No, I don't
That
think
one sounds
strawberry
good, though.
shortcake.
Halloween Oreos.
Yeah.
Golden double stuff.
Yeah.
Carrot cake Oreos.
We have these right here.
Ah.
When we're done with the list.
I love.
good. I wanna
We're
try
gonna
these.
Peppermint bark Oreos.
I feel like we did that.
Apple pie, I know we've tried. Lemon cream.
Yep.
Mint.
Yep.
Cinnamon bun, I know we've tried. Birthday
we?
cake, again, that one. Firework Oreos.
Yeah, those were the ones that had little pop rocks in them.
And then chocolate peanut butter pie and peanut
maybe.
butter.
We did.
Peanut butter we've done. I don't know about chocolate peanut butter pie. Chocolate Oreos.
But you can get all of these? Or
Cherry cola.
Oh, did we
Cherry
try
cola.
that one?
Cherry cola.
I want to try that one.
Okay. We'll order some up.
Dunkin' Donuts mocha.
It seems like we did that one, yeah.
Hot and spicy. That's got the little cinnamon, those cinnamon candies, Red Hots.
Oh, I don't think we tried that one.
Those right there.
I don't care for those little...
Rocky Road Trip.
Nope.
Sounds good.
Peeps.
I want to say we tried Peeps. Yeah.
Bonus Oreo chocolate candy bars.
We've not done that.
So these are these candy bars made out of Oreos?
Oh,
is that
wait.
what that
Yeah,
is?
I've had those, if that's what
We
it
had
is.
those,
Yeah. Candy canes.
No. I don't think we've done candy cane Oreos.
And bonus Oreo flavored candy canes. So these are candy canes that taste like Oreos.
Oh.
That's interesting.
Weird.
So there you go.
All right, so we'll have to order some up.
Okay.
But for right now,
Carrot cake.
These are carrot cake Oreo, carrot cake flavored cookie with cream cheese frosting, artificially flavored.
See, now I really like.
No, I'm not doing those.
Why?
What?
He just read what they are.
Oh, it's cream cheese frosting. She won't do it.
I don't
because
care.
it's.
I'm sure it's not real cream cheese.
But it's meant to
It says
taste like cream
cheese.
cheese.
Have you ever tasted cream
Yeah,
cheese?
of course I have.
But
No,
your
you haven't.
your objection to cheese, though, is what it is.
But
And
I
if-
also don't care for the taste of
and if-
it.
oh, well,
And if they're making those, even if it's fake, to
I
taste
love
like
carrot
cream
cake.
cheese.
yeah.
No.
Carrot cake is a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
On some level, I admire your commitment to your arbitrary and
Yes.
and stupid rules. I admire it. Sometimes it's very frustrating.
These are good.
These are great.
Yeah,
They're
You're missing
great.
out.
You're just saying that because
Nope.
I'm not having
These are
it.
actually
I
quite
know.
tasty.
they're
They're
kind of the
excellent.
graham cracker
Yeah.
crust, which
They're
The graham
excellent.
cookie
which I like better
You
than the
would
chocolate.
like them.
and a carrot cake
You would.
flavored.
Do you want
Not,
to smell
not
it?
real
No.
cream
She doesn't
cheese.
even want to smell it.
If you hadn't known,
No, I know what a carrot cake is.
if somebody gave you this cookie,
I don't eat things that I don't know what they are.
God, you're stupid.
I would say.
you're just plain dumb as a board.
Because
when it comes
anytime
down to it.
anybody says, try this, and I say, what is it? And they say, just try it, then I know they're up to something.
But you also don't eat things when you know what they are.
Right.
I read you what was in this.
I know, and now I know. So there's no way you're getting me to eat this.
If this came out of a package that said, this is a Graham Cinnamon Oreo.
Well, that's a different thing.
It's exactly the same thing with a different name. You're dumb as a board. You really are about certain
Why
things.
is that? I think it's very smart.
Hey, Gina, do you want a
And that
cinnamon?
makes you dumb.
Want a cinnamon Oreo?
No.
Oh. Thought I could
They're
trick
really
her.
good.
They're actually quite tasty.
Thought I could fool her.
You can't trick. People have tried to do. Just taste this. You'll like it. What is it? I'm not. I'll tell you after you taste it. No. You can't tell me what it is.
I would just lie to you.
Tim says that we need to try the pistachio ones. Pistachio.
Not on this list.
Not on the pistachio ones are not on the list?
No.
Oh.
I don't think they exist.
I'll go to Amazon. I've never seen
Oh,
them.
I guess we tried the cherry cola ones and we thought it tasted like cough syrup. Now
yeah.
I remember.
Okay, yeah. I remember
Who's
them
keeping
now.
track of this?
Somebody.
Oh, my
I
God.
thought that was your job.
No.
The internet keeps track of these things.
These are really good.
We hope you'd enjoyed another list with Radio from Hell on X96.
Give me another couple of those.
Even though it wasn't a list, really.
No.
Oh, the pistachios are thins. Pistachio chocolate sandwich cookies, Oreo. Yeah, they're
Sounds
real.
good.
They're real. They exist. All right. People are wondering if you will eat Cheetos.
No.
No. Okay. All right.
Not Cheez-Its, Cheetos.
All right. Just checking. Let's see. We'll take a break. We'll be back. New Dwello. Lolly has done all the hard work for you.
Yes,
She's got it taken care of and made it easy for you. All you have to do is text the word money to 62687.
62687. Text that word money. It's a forgivable grant program for people, and you can get a grant for $18,124 down payment money, or one for $5,000, or one for another. So there are three different programs, and you might get one of them or all of them, depending. You could get up to $28,124 in down payment assistance. Just by texting the word money to 62687 and looking at this map that Lolly will send you. It's a builder map. This is for new build homes. So you'll get this map. It'll show you 800 new home construction communities. And then you can look around and pick a builder that you want and start the process. So text the word money to 62687.
Every weekday afternoon, join me, Todd Newcomb.
Greetings, children. This is your old friend, the Grave Digger. Today I have a frightening little yarn that has all the ingredients needed to make you shudder. Sex, violence, lawyers, and 3 exploding human heads. This tale is called There She Blows, and we'll take you now to the law offices of Parker, Jameson, and Osborne, attorneys at law.
Mr. Parker?
Mr. Osborne.
Parker, your fly is undone.
Oh? Oh, so it is. I was just having sex with my secretary.
But Mr. Parker, that is so wrong. You're a married man.
I'm aware of that, Osborne, and I don't care. As a matter of fact, I'm going back in for seconds.
Parker, your head is getting bigger. Oh my God! Look at all the blood!
What's all the racket in here?
Parker's head just exploded.
Good Lord, what a mess.
Hey, what's Parker clutching in his still twitching hand?
That's the Bonneville specific file. He's been working overtime to make the board of directors look better in court. I believe he just finished it. Jameson, what are you doing?
Erasing Parker's name and putting mine on it. I'll take all the credit now that he's dead.
Now Jameson's head has exploded too. I'd better call for help. But first, I'm going to go through their wallets and steal all the money. They're not going to need it, and no one will ever know.
Those three really know how to get ahead, eh? Their law firm tried to expand too rapidly and suddenly went bust. Well, in case you hadn't figured out the moral of the story, it's if you're a lawyer and you do something bad, your head will explode. This is the old gravedigger inviting you to join me next time when our story will be called Chop Chop, Who's There? On Tales from the Grave.
With Gary Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi on X96.
All right, 9:50.
You know what I did yesterday?
No.
This is our producer, Richard Stedman.
I listened to the Radio from Hell Not Safe for Work podcast because I wasn't able to be there on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
So I put you guys in my ear holes while I was at the gym yesterday.
And you found that podcast where?
I listened to it via the Google app, the Google Podcast app.
I've
Simple
been
and
using
easy.
I've
It's
been
great.
using that lately myself.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
For us Android users, but it's on all the places. If you go through iTunes for
Mhm.
Apple users, you can get it at x96.com. And my couple takeaways from that episode, you didn't drink enough.
That's true.
I didn't drink very much. I drove to the venue.
I
so-
took Lyft. I had no excuse.
Yeah, yeah. It was very not safe for work. That was another thing I took away from it. And props to you, Gina, for breaking that seal on the not safe for work episode.
I
You
think first one to, yeah.
Yeah, she took care of that nice and early.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I
went-
didn't realize I was the okay.
Yeah, no, I'm like 20 seconds in.
Really?
You
Yeah.
took care of it.
I think that happens a lot. She does that.
The musical performances by Kurt Bester were really, really great.
Yeah,
he's good.
I mean, I know that he's good, but I mean the setup, right? I mean, it's not like a studio over there at
No.
Squatters.
Just
They-
microphones.
They still sounded
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
And then the last thing that I wanted to say is those pictures that were taken at the event, people who took
Oh,
their
are they
pictures,
up?
they're up now. If you follow Radio from Hell on Facebook, there's an album there. There's 112 photos there. They're also available at x96.com. And Carrie Jackson, take a minute and look through those pictures. There is an excellent picture of you, which
Wow.
you should take.
One out of 112?
No, not. I mean, there's lots that aren't of Carrie at all, but there's an exceptional
Like
good
a
picture.
you mean a solo one of Carrie?
Yeah, of
Oh,
Carrie.
I see.
You'll have to show me. I don't know if I want to wade through 100 and whatever numbers of them.
It's fun. You
to
see
find
pictures
it.
of Festus and the unfortunate one. She's there too, and
The unfortunate one.
isn't that what we're calling his wife to be?
Oh.
The unfortunate one. That's how she introduced herself. I was told.
Future Mrs. Fest.
Bill, great pictures.
What? No.
There's also a couple unflattering ones.
can't- well,
I'm not
most-
gonna.
most
I'm not
of
gonna
them.
encourage you to look at it.
I
but-
don't want to look at them.
I'm getting one lone person saying that we weren't not safe for work enough.
Interesting.
Trevin thinks that
Could
we
be.
weren't not safe for work.
Aside
enough.
from swear words, you weren't not safe for work at all.
No.
Like I don't think you guys ventured into really explicit content as far as like adult subject matter.
You can see my jacket. What did you think of the jacket?
I
Rich?
loved it. I loved it.
My snow leopard jacket.
Yeah, I think that you should wear clothes with color more often.
Dylan, think about that. What can we do to make it more not safe for work?
Could do it nude.
No.
We could just do something pornographic.
No.
Well, I'm just spitballing
Speak
here.
for yourself,
I'm
spitball.
I'm just spitballing here.
I think for that one person,
partially nude.
No.
I think you go too much more, and I think you turn a lot of people off. I think people think not safe for work, and they think just language.
Yeah. Is it off-brand if we go to?
I think so. Where people are coming at you from a radio point. If you guys are like, and then
Well, we'd have to
whatever
decide.
filthy thing
Would
was.
it be sexual? Would it be gross? Would it be?
We could describe
I don't
sex
see being
acts.
gross to. No.
Well, I'm just. Would you? Are you trying to stifle my creativity
Yes.
here?
Yes.
I'm just trying to. I'm just not saying we'll do that. I'm just. You're always trying to put me down. I'm just trying to be creative here.
And lastly, it is worth listening to the Not Safe for Work episode to hear Kurt Bester's movie story. That
was
had me laugh.
absolutely true.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Where exactly on the website are these pictures? People are
I was
tired
just
of-
told to x96.com. Let me poke around.
Yeah, they're tired of wandering around.
Really, the easiest place is if you follow us on Facebook or on Twitter. There's a link
Yeah.
to the whole album there. That's going to be your easiest go-to place.
Things are not clearly labeled a lot of times.
And you can download them there and share them, please. Let people know what a fun time
That's
you
true.
had.
Lindsay points out that Gina talked about a very not safe for work sexual thing one time.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
In a
shut up.
Look in the
episode, in
chat
this one?
room. Previous episode.
Yeah, in a
Oh,
previous
that-
episode you
See
had.
that in the chat room? See
Yeah.
that? I'm not going to say that.
So give me a break, will you, Miss Priss?
Let's. Do you
Was
have
he
the promo?
talking to me?
I'm not sure.
Yes,
but
you, Miss Priss.
Give me 1 second, Carrie.
All right.
Jeez.
Okay.
You're the one who talked about sex stuff, not me.
Yes, you.
Anybody notice Richie's dressed like a lumberjack?
That's okay.
He's dressed like one.
Yeah.
I don't know who he's trying to attract with that.
All right, here we go.
Do we have a promo? Oh, there it is.
Just came.
On Friday's Radio from Hell show,
we will finish up our film festival coverage by playing a couple of more interviews from Park City.
At 7 a.m., we'll do Meh Question of the Week. Send yours to radiofromhell@x96.com and put Meh in the subject line.
that's enough. Listen to Friday's Radio from Hell show on X96.
Remember, there's a little after-show video kind of thing that we're going to do here in a second that you can find on Twitter and Facebook and all of that stuff.
All right.
Only 2 minutes of your time.
Okay. I think we're good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
I'm Shady Pill Mill.
Corey is next.
X96. 1 hour nonstop music wingding starts now.
All systems go. Prepare for countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off to adventure.
So, now it's time to find out. We know who Gina's starstruck over, or would be starstruck over. We know
The Clooneys.
Yeah, we know who I would be starstruck over, Chris Pine. Carrie Jackson.
Well, see, here's the thing. I've been thinking about this, and there's not just one. There are many that I would be starstruck by. Definition of starstruck being not knowing what to say.
You just couldn't. You trip over your own tongue.
I would totally, yes. Well, John Belushi, that would be a shock because he's dead.
Well, yeah. Yes.
But I would like to ask him, why does he not think women are funny? I have several I'd like to show you. But I wouldn't be able to. I would want to have that conversation with him, but I wouldn't be able to because I'd be all humana. Hunter Thompson, of course. I sincerely think Seth MacFarlane.
Really?
I would be, if I were to meet him, I would want to talk about so many things, but I wouldn't know where to begin.
You can hold your own with Seth MacFarlane.
I mean, he's a Star Trek fan. You would think that I could start there. But, I don't think I'd be able to do it.
I think you could, because I've heard him interviewed, and he seems very, very nice and very approachable.
Well, he's just still that, nerd from a small town, even though he's incredibly wealthy.
I think you know how you like to think of, I bet that's a celebrity I could be friends with. I could see you being friends with Seth MacFarlane.
It would be interesting. I think I'd like to sit and talk Star Trek with him, but I would be terrified. I would be that all humana if I were to sit down and meet him. He would have to make the first move.
Sit down on the piano bench next to me, Carrie, and I'll play a couple of tunes. And
Ooh, okay.
We'll have a cocktail.
Thank you. But anyway, thank you for watching these.
Yeah.